Coming up next, could be one of the highlights of the 1982 football season, the Southern California Trojans and the Florida Gators. A very hot, muggy day in Gainesville, Florida. It is a game that involves considerable risk for Southern California in traveling all the way across the country to play a good Florida team. Florida, on the other hand, scheduling. Southern California knows full well a win could send their national stock soaring. So it is a very interesting intersectional game between the Trojans and the Gators. We'll have it after this word from your local station.
Saturday, T.J.
Sports presents our 20th year of NCAA football. And another memory from those 20 years of presenting college football go back to 1975. Ohio State running back Archie Griffin, smaller in size than some, but a giant in stature. The only man to win the Heisman Trophy twice. Today from Gainesville, Florida, the University of Southern California Trojans and the Florida Gators go at it. The Trojans will start this afternoon a sophomore at quarterback Sean Salisbury, his first starting snap ever. On the other side, the Florida Gators have a seasoned junior at quarterback in Wayne Peace, who provided a spectacular victory over Miami last week. So stay tuned now for NCAA college football. It is a blistering hot day at Florida Field in Gainesville. The temperature up around 90-odd degrees. On the field, surely well over 100. We'll have more than 72,000 people to watch this afternoon as Southern California meets Florida for the first time. Hello, I'm Keith Jackson, along with Coach Frank Broyles. And John Robinson worried Frank about coming here, playing in the afternoon, and getting this kind of weather, and it's just like the good Lord is from Florida. He's giving him all the heat he can handle.
Keith, the advantage definitely rests with Florida because they are accustomed to this heat, and I'm sure Coach Pell has been saying, what heat, what heat?
For Florida, I see this as maybe the biggest image game they have ever played.
I think so, Keith. It's a golden opportunity. What Charlie Pell doesn't want to happen is the team to get sky high, make mistakes, and fall flat. What he's been doing all week is the Trojans come out for the football game.
The Trojans 9-3 last season under Coach John Robinson, starting his 7th year as the head man in Los Angeles with a record of 59-11-2. They were ranked 13th. They've got air conditioners over there behind the bench. They've got sacks and sacks of ice. They'll try to stay cool, and now the roar for the hometown Gators. The Gators with a win under their belt, ranked 16th. Coach Charlie Pell, 4th season, 0-10-1, his first year, Frank, but he started to turn things around. He's gone 8-4 and 7-5. Let's talk for a moment about Southern California now. They come out here into very hostile country and uncomfortable weather with a rookie quarterback and a committee at tailback.
Well, this is unfamiliar for Southern Cal. They'll be having few faces handling the ball. But I've learned to discount graduation losses at a school like Southern Cal. I've seen them too many times. They just replace one great player with another blue chip prospect.
Another element here, too. I don't think Southern California can afford to come in here in the least bit cocky. They're not going to just puff and blow Florida away.
Keith, I don't believe there's any imbalance of talent here. Charlie Pell has been convincing his team all week that they can win this ball game. They expect to win it, and this is the attitude that Florida must have instead of what they've had in the past. They may hope to win.
How do you feel about the game now? Is Florida having a game under its belt a big plus for them?
Very definitely. When coaches agree that the most improvement in a football team occurs after the first game. And the reason for this, Keith, is you've had the chance to meet equal opposition for the first time. Mistakes occur, you study the film, you make corrections and the big changes, you lose the uncertainty and gain confidence.
Southern California has a history of making mistakes early and not playing sometimes all that well on the road. I remember, well, an LSU game when they had to struggle. I remember a game when you beat them in Fayetteville. So it's going to be interesting this afternoon. The first time that Florida and Southern California has ever met in football. And this one could be a dandy.
NCAA Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealers from coast to coast. By Schlitz Malt Liquor. No one does it like the Bull. and by Mr. Goodwrench and General Motors Parts, who help you keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts.
Let's very quickly update you on the weather and the temperature. A new member of our reporting staff, Mr. Tim Brandt. Timmy, what's it like down there?
Keith, I have to believe that this heat down here will affect even the best conditioned athlete. Take a look at the temperature. It is 100 degrees. It was hotter than that. There is a slight breeze blowing now. The clouds are starting to roll in. I have talked with both team doctors. I have spoken with the trainers. They have taken precautionary measures. But I would have to think some of these guys will suffer muscle cramps today. Keith?
All right, Tim, we're now ready to kick it off as Jim Gainey, a senior from Gainesville, has it on the tee. He kicks it toward Michael Harper and Joey Browner. It is Browner back in the end zone. The high-hanging kick will not be returned. It'll be Southern California's football. First and 10 at the 20. Sean Salisbury, a sophomore from Escondido. Michael Harper, a junior from Kansas City, is the tailback. He starts there. Todd Spencer at fullback out of Berkeley. Timmy White from New Jersey is the flanker, and Jeff Simmons is the split end. Jeff is from Stockton. We'll set the big guys up front for you in a moment, and they, of course, are as much a part of the Southern California football story as the backs are, because they're the people that make the student body right and the blast plays work. Simmons comes to the bottom of the picture as young Sean Salisbury steps in to take his first starting snap ever at Southern California. And he handles it cleanly, gives the ball to Harper. Harper tucks it around right in, goes to the 25-yard line. And at the 25, he is cut down. Don Mosbar is a 275-pound tackle. Darrell Moore at 270 pounds, a guard. Tony Slayton at center, 255. Bruce Matthews, a guard, 265. Kelly Thomas, the other tackle, at 270. And Fred Cornwell, the tight end, 234, 6'5". Second down and 5, Southern California from their 25. Florida right now with a 7-man front. And the pitch goes to Spencer, the fullback. Spencer's up across the 30, out to the 33, and in their initial possession, the Trojans have a first down. The Florida defense lines up this way. Alton Jones, Tim Newton, John Whitaker, 3 down men. Wilbur Marshall, Val Brown, Tom Wiegman, and Fernando Jackson, the linebackers. Secondary, Bruce Vaughn, Ivory Curry, Randy Clark, and Tony Lilly. Southern California getting a first down out to the 33. They got a first down into play. Salisbury's first pass. It's complete to Simmons, and it was almost intercepted. Bruce Vaughn stepped in and could have had it. If he'd have been an inch taller, he'd have been going the other way with it.
This is the first pass for Salisbury, their fine sophomore quarterback. And the Florida defense, if backs, give very little cushion. And, of course, Vaughn, who had 6 interceptions in the last 2 years, came up and missed the interception. First down for Southern Cal.
At the Florida 49. So the Trojans very quickly are in Florida's side of the field. The Trojans wearing the white shirts out of the I formation. Michael Harper, the junior tailback, goes to the Florida 45, where he runs into a stack, and big Alton Jones, sophomore out of Tampa, brings him down.
The Florida defense uses very few stunts. In fact, they play basic, fundamental play as we look at the size of the offensive line in Southern Cal. 6'7", 6'6", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". You can see why they're so good running the football.
They are also tall. Look at the height. That's a big factor. Florida's just about as big, but they're not as tall. Second down and about 6. Spencer, the fullback. Spencer takes a solid whack. And the initial contact by Fernando Jackson. And then Val Brown came along to really belt him, and he's going to get up very gingerly. Alton Jones, number 67, also hit him hard.
Isolated on Fernando Jackson.
Fernando Jackson has been a starter for the Gators for the last 2 years, second leading tackler. He just has an assignment to eyeball the tailback, and you see he doesn't hesitate. Just an outstanding play.
In last year's Georgia-Florida game, he eyeballed Herschel Walker. They had the ball loose for a moment, but the play was dead. Salisbury back to throw it again. Goes over the middle with it, and the pass is incomplete. The pass again intended for Jeff Simmons. Tom Wiegman, inside linebacker, dropped back in there with him, and say on third down, The Gators turn away the Trojan bid for the first down. It brings up 4th and 4, and David Pryor comes in to punt. David Pryor, 1981, averaged just over 41 yards per kick. It is Ivory Curry, a defensive back, who is deep now for Florida. There's no pressure to speak of on Pryor. He shoots it in the air. It's going to hang up there. The Trojans have a chance to put it down, and they do. Florida will start in a hole, back on their own 2-yard line. Southern California moves it, can't put anything on the board, and now Florida's got to start deep in their own territory. So the Florida Gators on this hot, muggy afternoon in Gainesville get the football first down at their own 2, and that is an ugly place to have your first possession of the ball game. Wayne Peace is the quarterback. Jim Jones is the tailback, and Lorenzo Hampton is the tailback with Jones up at fullback out of the eye. It is Hampton carrying. He wedges right into the middle and maybe a yard. Here's a look at those people in the backfield now. Wayne Peace, a junior, and he is a very good quarterback. Lorenzo Hampton, a sophomore, breaking in at 210 pounds, and big Jim Jones. James has been outstanding through his career. Wayne Dixon, wide man, and Spencer Jackson, a flyer, is the other wide out. Second down, the ball is out near the 3. Goes to Hampton. He gets maybe the 4 before the big guys up front for Southern California turn him back. Dan Fike is a tackle. Dan weighs in at 268. John Hunt is a guard at 246. Phil Bromley, the center, 242. Buddy Schulteis is a strong guard at 258. Lomas Brown is a tackle at 271. Mike Malarkey, the tight end, at 245, 6'4". So you can see there, the Florida Gators are not outsized all that much. It is third down, and they need about 7. Little quick throw over the middle. Pass interference will be called right there. Troy West, number 9, had come up to defend on Dwayne Dixon, the wideout, and bangs into him, and you've got an interference call against Southern California.
This is just a little quick-in pass. The quarterback takes 3 steps back. He looks at Dwayne Dixon. Troy West, number 9, gets all over him. Reaches, grabs him, and pulls him down before the ball is there. Clearly interference.
And so here's Florida now getting a little breathing room as the ball is moved out to the 11, but most importantly for them, they have a first down. Malarkey, the tight end, flexes out. The ball goes to Jones, his first carry of the afternoon, and Big James is up across the 15, hammering his way to about the 17. Here is the Southern California defensive unit now, and you're going to see some new looks in the way SC is playing defense this year. You have the 3 down linemen, John Harvey, George Achika, and Byron Darby. The linebackers are Jack Del Rio, Keith Browner, August Curley, and Ricky Gray. And the secondary is composed of Troy West, Wayne Jackson, Matt Johnson, and Joey Browner. The ball is just over the 17, and it's second down along 3. Jones to the 23, near the 24. First down for the Florida Gators, where August Curley brings him down. Now a quick look at some scores from around the country. Maryland 24, Penn State 23 in the third quarter. How do you do? West Virginia 20 over Oklahoma's 14 at halftime. Nebraska beating Iowa at halftime 28-0. From the 23 of Florida, it is a first down for the Gators, and Peace gives the ball to Jones again. And this time James is knocked down hard as he gets it up to the 27, and again August Curley, a senior for SC out of Atlanta, Georgia, brings him down. And a look there at John Robinson.
There, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most skillful coaches of our time. John Robinson really excels in decision-making when he's under pressure. And there's Charlie Pell, turned 2 programs around, first at Clemson and now at Florida.
Second down and 7 from the 27 for the Gators. Jones again cuts it back over the left side this time, and James is out to the 32. And this time it is John Harvey who makes the tackle for Southern Cal. He is a senior out of Compton. Some more scores. Ohio State 21-14 over Baylor in the fourth quarter. That's in Columbus, and Stanford beating Purdue in the second quarter 14-7. That's in Lafayette. Temple beating Syracuse 23-18. I think that might be called a surprise. And in the fourth quarter, the Brigham Young Cougars have taken a 14-7 lead over the Georgia Bulldogs. They still only have a half a Herschel Walker to play with them. Jones is out, and Darrell Williams is in at fullback for the Florida Gators, and Wayne Peace drops back to throw. Throws a little short swing up to the 35, across it to the 36, and Williams makes the catch. Troy West, the tackle, and all of a sudden here is the Florida Gators moving out for breathing room, and a look at an All-American nose guard, George Achika.
George Achika has been the #1 pass rusher for Southern Cal, but for Florida very wisely puts 2 linemen and 1 back on him. Achika has no chance to apply any pressure.
So the Gators have a first down at the 35. They started back on the 2. Peace, collision in the backfield with Williams, but Darrell breaks it and goes across the 40, out to the 44. Charlie Fell likes this kid. He says he is a gamer. He's a 225-pound junior out of Jacksonville, and he may be just the man to give Big James Jones some relief.
Obviously, the offensive line are doing a good job. And the thing I think we should mention right here, Charlie Pell has worked hard on his running game. For this reason, he has found in the last 2 years, when his team outrushed his opponents, his record was unblemished, 10-0.
John L. Williams, number 22, a freshman out of Palatka, is in there at tailback now. And it goes to Williams again, and Williams has got a Florida first down at the Gator 49. John Harvey, they're running right at Harvey. He got some help that time from number 57, Keith Browner.
This has got to really boost the morale of this Florida football team. They have been very ineffective running the football for the past 2 years. It's for long-term benefit. Charlie Pell said, we're going to run the football, and that's his personality.
Jerry Yarbrough is the referee, Walter Wolf the umpire, George Morris the linesman, Gaylord Bryan the line judge, Joe Delaney the field judge. And here are the Gators now operating first down from their 49. Wayne Peace getting pressure, gets his pass off. Pass is complete to James Jones, and Jones is down at the Southern California 42. James Jones coming back in at fullback. He made a spectacular catch last week to pull out a win late in the ball game against the tough Miami Hurricanes.
Jamie Jones, who we've already seen his running ability. He's an outstanding blocker, good pass receiver, but I think it's worth mentioning right here, without the penalty of pass interference, Florida would have had the punt and it would have been Southern Cal's ball instead.
Second down, less than a yard to go for a first down from the Southern California 41. Ball goes to the tailback, and John L. Williams jams his head in there and gets the first down at the Trojan 40, stopped by Achika.
George Achika, number 78, preseason All-American, 6'5", 268 pounds. He can turn the shoulders of the blocker, and that lets him penetrate and make the play. Just an All-American football player in every way.
First quarter's flying by. We've got 6.5 minutes to go in the first period. Florida, starting its own 2, has moved the ball now to the USC 40. He's to throw. Throws it short again to Jones, and Jones hammered out of bounds at the 30. That will be another Florida first down. Now it's
Wayne Peace is just using great judgment. He's got his receivers down deep, but what Southern Cal is doing on pass defense, for the first time they're playing Penn State's defense, which is a 3-deep secondary. There's Wayne Peace, 3 for 3. Last week against Miami, he was 18 out of 24 and 1 touchdown. There's his career record at Florida, starting in midway in his freshman season.
A double wide to the top of the picture. Ball goes to Lorenzo Hampton, the tailback. And the Florida Gators offensive front, Frank, is absolutely disrespectful of Southern California's defense right now. They're blowing them out of there.
Well, they are big, similar to what Southern Cal. Dan Fighton, number 69, has had a sensational game so far. He's the weak side tackle. He's been making the key blocks, as Keith has already mentioned, on John Harvey, clearing the way for the Gator backs.
Second down, about 6. Hampton again, the tailback coming around. And again, Fike gets a good block. But coming up from the other side is Byron Darby. Darby has played at linebacker for Southern Cal, and there are times today when he'll go into a stand-up position as a linebacker, which he did there. That freed him for much greater mobility, and he's able to come across and get the man.
Penn State was so successful as we look at the starters by class for the Florida offensive defense. Penn State was so successful against Southern Cal, they've incorporated their defense.
Third down and about 3. And Peace looks for that little short, secure pass and gets it away, but it's incomplete, intended for Darrell Williams. And so now the Gators have stalled. They're looking at 4th down and a short 3. Michigan beating Wisconsin today 20-9. And next Saturday night from South Bend at 9 Eastern time, those Michigan Wolverines against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame right here on ABC. Field goal unit is in. Jim Gainey, 1982, 1 for 1. He had a 38-yard field goal against Miami. 1981, he held for Brian Clark. The kick is in the air. It's plenty of leg. It is no good. It is wide to the kicker's right. So he tried to hook it back into the uprights. He couldn't get it there, and so he misses from 39 yards.
Penalty.
No score first quarter with 4:54 remaining. It appeared Roger Sibbald might have bobbled the ball just for a moment. Third quarter now, Penn State's gone back on top of Maryland 29-24. And final now, Ohio State has beaten Baylor 21-14, but the Bears made a game of it in Columbus. Trojans ball, first down from their 22 on the field goal miss. And it goes to the tailback, Michael Harper. And Harper runs into a pile of folks up on the 25. That Tim Newton, there's a funny line that's been kicking around down here this season. Alton Jones says, or Wilbur Marshall, I guess it was, says of Tim Newton, who came in and added 45 pounds to his 6-foot 2-inch frame. He's a sophomore out of Orlando. He weighs 285, and Wilbur says that Tim doesn't lift weights, he throws them. Second down and about 7. Ball just over the 25. Timmy White goes in motion. Michael Harper cuts it back against the grain, gets into a one-on-one, and gets it out to the 32, where Bruce Vaughn, a senior out of Largo, Florida, brings him down. Michael Harper is a junior out of Kansas City, 5'11", 185, and he's going to be sharing playing time at tailback today with Fred Crutcher. And Crutcher has just come into the ball game. Number 49, Crutcher, 5'10", 195, a sophomore from Pasadena. We may not see Zepp Lee much today. May not see him at all. The change being brought on for the measurement. Lee is the biggest of the 3 Trojan tailbacks at 204 pounds, and he too is a sophomore. But the opinion that I get from John Robinson is he's not quite ready to step into the pressure cooker. They're about a half a yard short. ABC's Monday Night Football premieres next Monday night, and what a good one it is. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys from Dallas at 9 Eastern time here on ABC. 2 old Super Bowl foes, 2 very good, high-quality organizations. So it'll be fun to watch the Steelers and the Cowboys go at it Monday night. 4 minutes to play in the first quarter.
Florida has gotten most of their players right up on the line on this short yardage situation. They're going to do their dead level best to stop it from gaining a foot.
Everybody's up on third down. Salisbury turns, gives it to Crutcher. Crutcher is belted right up the line of scrimmage. It depends on the mark.
The mark is by the headlinesman, gives him the first down, Chief, about a yard.
Boy, he took a lick, didn't he?
Those Florida linebackers, Wigman and Jackson, were right on top of the ball carrier, Crutcher.
First down, second down.
All right, Salisbury now sits down, talks to his teammates. They settle on a signal. They send Simmons wide. There's Crutcher, who's in at tailback behind Spencer, the fullback. First down, Trojans. From the 34, Salisbury's pass to the sidelines, incomplete, intended for Timmy White. who came to USC as a quarterback, wound up at wide receiver. Randy Clark defending for Florida. And that, I think, that kind of a play gives you some measure of the strength of Salisbury's arm. He who whistled it. Chrissy Lloyd won today in the women's finals of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships, beating Hana Mandlikova. And in the men's semifinals, boy, that's a struggle between Jimmy Connors and Guillermo Villas, with Jimmy winning it. Salisbury back, nothing downfield, throws the ball to the sidelines to Crutcher, goes right through Freddie's hands. And it's an incomplete forward pass.
That last play was the first pass that simulates the Brigham Young offense. Coach Tolner from Brigham Young moved over to Southern Cal. His offensive coordinator incorporated some of the drop-back passing, using all the backs and in receivers to give him unlimited possibilities of patterns. That's freshman John Salisbury's record, 1 out of 4.
Third down. Third and 10, Salisbury getting some heat. They get him. Number 51, Tim Newton. Florida's version of the refrigerator.
Interesting, Florida has the 3-man rush. Although they are bringing it in up at the top, Newton, number 51, just by pure determination, just keeps fighting his way through the Southern Cal offensive line. Number 51, 6'2", 285-pound Tim Newton.
David Pryor is in to punt, hit a 40-yarder earlier in the quarter. Hits it from his 12. It's a low kick. Ivory Curry comes up, accepts it, gets a block, and slips up to the 45 before he is brought down. With 2 minutes and 37 seconds to play in the first quarter. No score, and Florida in good field position. Southern California was flagged on the punt for holding. Florida refuses the penalty. It was only a net 30 yards on the punt. The Gators have the ball, first down, at their own 45. No score in this first quarter of play. Florida has been impressive moving the ball against Southern California. You've got Jones and Hempton lined up behind Wayne Peace. He has not thrown deep yet. He's got it. He sets it up. He throws it. The pass is knocked away. Good play by Troy West, the cornerback, coming up to cover James Jones.
It seemed to me that Peace changed the play at the line of scrimmage. He had a running play called and thought he had a weakness over in the secondary and chose to throw the ball, but Troy West was the cornerback and just moved right in and knocked the pass down.
The temperature 100 degrees down at the edge of the field as we started the game. Had a lot of rain down here recently, and we're expecting some showers before the game is done. As a matter of fact, I think I see one coming on the horizon. Second and 10 from the 45 for the Gators. He swings it out to Hampton. He's a speed burner. Got a little help over there, but not enough. As the Trojans get him, Joey Browner and August Curley. They're in a hurry to bring him down. You can see the kind of little thunderheads that are bouncing around, and there's the game I was talking about a little while ago. Michigan winning today. They will go to South Bend next Saturday night. It'll be Notre Dame's opening game, and it'll be the first night game ever played at Notre Dame Stadium. And you'll see it right here starting at 9 Eastern Time on ABC. From the 49, it is third down and 6. Peace got some time to throw it. Gets it off to Jones. He's out of bounds. Incomplete forward pass. Ricky Gray had dropped back to cover a senior out of Tucson and an inside linebacker.
A little bit of a surprise maneuver in that Florida put, there's a flag down. Let's see what it is. But Florida put their fullback in motion and left him with no backs behind the quarterback and forcing linebacker Gray to cover Jamie Jones. Penalty is against Florida.
He is talking to August Curley, defensive captain, a senior from Atlanta. Jerry Yarborough, the referee. I think Florida had an offensive lineman downfield. piece of sliding along the line and had good protection, and then he had to get rid of the ball because stepping up to force the play was Curley, and he tried to get Jones down the sidelines. Here's the call.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense, loss of down.
For you football fans, that's a new rule this year, just a 5-yard penalty and loss of down.
So it brings in the Florida punter, and the Florida punter is quite a story. He averaged 49 yards last week and 3 kicks. Ray Criswell, he is a freshman out of Orange Park, and he can hit howitzers. I don't know how he'll hit this one, but before the day is done, I wouldn't be surprised to see him 0-1.
Florida is short of a man. They only have 10 players out there, Keith. They better call timeout than they have.
So the 11th man comes on the field, but it cost the Gators a timeout with 1:43 to play in the first quarter and no score. Chevy's up on 4th and 11. Ray Criswell is in to punt for the Florida Gators. Michael Harper, deep for Southern California. With a good kick. Didn't get all of it, shooting it for the sidelines, and it's a dandy on the bounce. It just flops up in the air like a wet mushroom and drops out of bounds at the 15-yard line. 41-yard kick. Georgia comes fighting back now against BYU to lead 17-14. Game being played up at Athens, and Nebraska holding a big edge over Iowa. I would think Georgia's a little... Oh, look at here. The Ole Miss Rebels 28-10 over Southern Mississippi. And Temple leading Syracuse with Indiana beating Northwestern at halftime. The Trojans go to work. First down. At the 15, Kamana is in at fullback now. Crutcher is the tailback. Webb's got it. He's hit at the 15. Will fall ahead to about the 17. Now, this Florida crowd have their hackles up. Wilbur Marshall and Fernando Jackson.
Wilbur Marshall, number 88, was all Southeastern Conference. He's a leading tackler, even though he plays out on the wide linebacker. But they told me today they're going to let him chase plays from behind, and they hope that he could catch the tailback from the far side, and he does for a great play. Wilbur Marshall, number 88.
Give him a yard, 2nd down and 9. Salisbury sets the Trojans with double wideouts. Give it again to Crutcher. Crutcher trips at the line of scrimmage and comes on ahead to about the 19. And they put him back around the 17. It looks to me like they've marked it back there. Tim Newton is the man that nailed him down.
In the first series by Southern Cal offensively, they moved the ball around, mixing up passing and run, but mostly run successfully before they had to punt. Florida came back, did the same thing successfully, but in the second possession, both tried to pass unsuccessfully.
From near the 18, 3rd down and 8, and Michael Harper is back in the lineup. They've got 3 wideouts, and now they send the man in motion. That is Harper. Give the ball to Kamana, the fullback. And John can't find much room to run as the Gators pursue him and get him as he gets to the 21. Tom Wiegman, a senior inside linebacker from Jacksonville Beach, the principal tackler.
One thing that the Southern Cal tailback must recognize against the Florida defense is going to be very few creases inside. They're going to force the play outside where the backs can make the play.
First quarter is over. There is no score. A final score from Athens. Georgia came back to beat BYU 17-14. The Bulldog defense intercepted BYU quarterback Steve Young 6 times. So Georgia's been through a tough week playing Clemson Monday and BYU today. Dave Pryor now back to punt for the 3rd time in the game. He's averaged 38. He's punted in 40 and 36. Ivory Curry is deep for Florida. The Gators should have pretty good field position out of this. Kick is away from the Trojan 12. It's a good kick. Curry's got to back up now as the wind carried it a little bit. Gets a little bit of help and wiggles his way back across the 30 to the 31. That was a 51-yard punt by Dave Pryor. First quarter numbers.
I think that the surprise probably is that Florida has rushed for 50 yards. That's equivalent of 200 in the ball game, and that's what they're trying to do. They've looked good running the ball, very ineffective passing considering what they've done in the past, and the same is true for Southern Cal. Just an even ball game so far.
I believe we've got an officials conference here. We could have another penalty coming up.
Yes, that big yellow flag is laying right by the back judge.
It's personal foul against Florida.
Well, that takes them right out of pretty good field position on the 31. It's going to put them right back on the 16. Well,
Dave Pryor hit a 51-yard punt, and you tack 15 onto it. That's fair production out of your kicker, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's flipping the field right over. Coaches still play field position, and of course Charlie Pell was very upset about the penalty. They're going to bring it back and make the penalty. Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to give them a first down before the ball was caught.
Before the ball was caught. Had to.
But once the ball passes the line of scrimmage, it's not.
Well, let's see what the referee, how he explains it.
Charlie Pell is going to want an explanation, I believe.
Personal foul. Defensive team before the punt crossed the line. First down.
All right, that defines it. It happened before the punt crossed the line of scrimmage, even though the flag was laying down at the other end of the field.
That's
so what that does is give Southern California a first down out at the 36.
What threw both Keith and me was the flag was way down by the safety man, which meant the ball had crossed the line of scrimmage when the foul occurred.
Home folks don't like it. On the 36, John Salisbury sets him up and drops back to throw. He has time. He goes over the middle, and the pass is short, intended for Kenny White. He had White, too, but he was late getting the ball away. White didn't have a whole lot of room, and he had to drill it, and he was late getting it there.
Well, Florida had great practice of playing against Miami last week, and Jim Kelly, one of the premier passers in college football. As we look at Charlie Pell, he's upset about that call that changed that possession ball right back to Southern Cal.
Not much substituting so far on this hot day. Second down and 10 for the Trojans from their own 36, just starting the second quarter, no score. Ball goes to Michael Harper, gets a good block to turn the corner. Oh, boy, I'll say he got a good block. That number 71, Darrell Moore, went out there and just buried the Florida man.
It was a little bit of a misdirection play, something that Southern Cal has been very effective with through the years, and you have to use this against Florida defensive scheme because their linebackers just run with the first fake that they get in the backfield. As Michael Harper, 5 rushes, 27 yards.
He leaves. Fred Crutcher comes in now. Keep a fresh man at the tailback position. It's third down at about 2 for Southern California. Ball goes to Crutcher. Running wide to the left. He takes a wallop from Curry, runs over Curry, and gets his first down.
It's all where the official spots that ball, Keith. It's going to be very close. He gave him the first down. He spotted him for the first down.
He and Curry just went helmet to helmet, jaw to jaw.
Let's watch the sweep. It's just an individual effort by Crutcher. It's the sweep play, thinking that they can get outside, and Florida's going to force the play outside, hope their back can come up and make the play. Is number 8. Let's see, it's number 8, or 26. Curry, the cornerback, hits him, but Crutcher keeps going.
First down, Southern California, just beyond the 46. Salisbury back to throw. He goes over the middle. He's got Simmons. And Simmons has got the ball in the first down for SC at the Florida 36. Tackle by Tony Lilly.
Simmons is the leading receiver for Southern Cal. He caught 28 passes last year. He's 6'3", a good target. He's caught many passes coming across the middle. He knows that he's going to get hit as soon as he catches the ball. And, of course, Tony Lilly, number 18, the safety man, is going to try to knock him loose. But too experienced player and Simmons.
Jeff glad to get out of that without having a broken leg the way he got hit. From the 36, the first down for USC. The ball goes to the tailback, Crutcher. Crutcher with a block at the line of scrimmage, splits it down inside the 30 and goes out of bounds at the 20, I'll call it the 25 of Florida. Tim Newton, the nose guard for the Gators, was taken out of that play and opened the door.
Newton is playing right over the center. He's just a sophomore, but Slayton, the center, number 73, happens to be all Pac-10 last year, and you can see him turn him right to the inside and out of the play and gets a little help from the Southern Cal tackle.
First down, ball just short of the Florida 25. This is the Trojans' most meaningful march so far. And that ball up the middle to Kamana, the fullback, number 26, a 220-pound junior out of Honolulu.
Penalty flag down, Keith, right by the umpire. Would indicate an offensive lineman penalty.
Illegal use of hands called against Southern California. 13 minutes to play in the first half, no score.
Bruce Matthews, number 66, who's a preseason All-American, plays right guard, a strong guard for Southern Cal, was the weak side guard last year. He's moved over towards on the side of the tight end where they run most of their power plays with the fullback.
Charlie Fell making defensive changes now, and he just sent back into the ball game Val Brown, Lawrence Patrick coming out, Ira Curry goes back in, and Ricky Eastman comes out. The ball is moved back to the 28.
Illegal use of the hands. Offense marked off from the spot of the run.
Southern Cal penalized 5 yards. Illegal use of the hands.
Keith, that meant that the foul was beyond the point of the run. Otherwise, it would have been from the line of scrimmage.
And it makes it first down and about 13. Salisbury sets up, goes to the sidelines, and misses Jeff Simmons. He had good movement, but the Florida defensive secondary didn't take the bait. Bruce Vaughn stayed right with him, and the pass was overthrown. Look at that Penn State-Maryland game. Boy, they are. Bobby Ross got that bunch of turf and flowing and scratching, doesn't he? Sooners coming back now to take a 21-20 lead. Alabama defeated Georgia Tech in Atlanta. It was in Atlanta today, I believe, 45-7. Nebraska still leading Iowa 28-0. Second down, 13 on the incomplete forward pass. Just inside the 28. Salisbury again has some time, gets it off over the middle. The pass caught by Simmons, and then comes loose. Was it caught? Yes. Fumble. Florida recovers. Tony Lilly, number 18.
Tony Lilly, number 18, is just a great safety man. He knows how to get up and get into the action. Simmons is across the middle after a beautiful scramble by Salisbury, and Simmons is knocked loose from the ball. Lilly falls on it.
And so the Florida Gators turn away a threat by Southern California, getting the ball back at their own 14. You've got 12 minutes and 6 seconds to play in the first half. No score, and Florida sends Spencer Jackson to the top of the picture, Tyrone Young to the bottom of the picture. They flex Malarkey, the tight end, out. They've got Jones and Hampton lined up behind Peace. And the snap is coming from about the 14. It goes to Hampton, and Hampton has no place to go. Byron Darby was right there, number 94.
Florida went into a surprise formation with the ball on their own 13-yard line, and that was a spread without a tight end, and Darby had a free run right at the fullback and made the play.
John L. Williams at tailback, a 200-pound freshman now. There was a loss of about a yard. Second down, 11. Back near the 13. Ball goes to Williams. Gets it to the 16, and that'll do it.
John L. Williams, the ball carrier.
Looking into the middle of the Southern California defensive front, Clint Hampton is now at the middle guard position, giving Achika some rest. Brian Luft is in at a tackle.
Keith, that's very important to put the substitutes in before your starters just give out. You want to take them out, rest them so they can gain that second win in the second half.
Darrell Hopper is in instead of Dwayne Jackson. Dwayne Beckett's in at an outside linebacker position. It's third down and 8 for the Gators from their own 16, and Peace straight back. He goes over the middle with it, and the pass is complete. Caught by the wide man, Dwayne Dixon, number 83.
John Robinson told me that with the new rules and pass protection, he was only going to rush 3 or 4 men most of the ball game. Concede the short pass, but Peace has enough time. You can see that he watches Dixon come across the middle. Linebackers couldn't make the play. It was an outstanding catch by Dwayne Dixon.
He is from
He had 5 last week.
Alachua right here in the Gainesville area. It is a first down for Florida at their own 29. Ball given off to Jones, and Jones is caught behind the line of scrimmage by Byron Darby. August Curley is on top.
Southern Cal coaches think that Byron Darby, number 84, has the real quickness to be an outstanding football player, but he has that nasty attitude that's so important for defensive players.
He lost a yard, second down, 11. Ball just inside the 28. Hampton at tailback, replacing Williams. Peace will throw it. No, he won't. Darby, 94, is the man that wrapped his arms around him and brought him down. But it was a Chica, number 78, who was back into the ball game, who came banging in to make the initial hit. ABC's Wide World of Sports next Saturday. The WBA World Light Heavyweight Championship bout. The champion Michael Spinks defending against Johnny Davis. That's at 5 Eastern Time.
Keith, it's third down and about 17. Wayne Peace, if he's going to throw the ball, better be extremely careful. Southern Cal will pick it off.
They've got Joey Browner playing center field as a free safety. Pressure zone, pass away. Pass is caught by Hampton. But nowhere near first down area as he was brought down by the Trojans up around the 25. Brian Luft, number 90, a sophomore out of Fresno, 255, 6'6", was coming at Wayne Peace, and Wayne had to get rid of it. He's a big, strong kid himself. He is willing to take the lick, and he did there. Criswell is in to punt now. Harper is deep. Criswell's first punt today, 39 yards.
Southern Cal's going to rush this freshman and see if they can hurry him up.
Ends it out of there, and it's a beauty. Runs Harper all the way back to the 24. Now he's got some help. And the Gators shut the door and bring him down at the Southern California 33. Brought down by Jim Calendross, a senior. No score in the game. Penn State has added a touchdown, 39-31 their lead, third quarter against the Maryland Terrapins, 8:54 to go here in Gainesville, Florida. We have no score. That was a 50-yard punt by Criswell. Salisbury gives it off to the up man Spencer, and the big fullback pops it through there pretty well. He gets up across the 40. Todd Spencer is a 195-pound junior out of Berkeley. The fullback position is normally the position that John Robinson likes to season his tailbacks, but he's keeping Spencer there.
And Spencer was a tailback as a freshman and has the most speed probably of any fullback they've had in a long, long time.
None of these tailbacks step up to take it. You could see a change there, but they're right now very thin at fullback. Flanahan out for academic reasons. Fumble! Gators have got it, I think. Florida's ball. Number 52, Ricky Williams, a sophomore from Pensacola. 6-footer, a 270-pound nose guard came up with it.
Let's watch the left guard pull, and he's going to bump into and knock the ball out of Salisbury's hand. Number 71, which is the left guard Moore, pulled and knocked the ball out of Salisbury's hand. Florida recovering. A big break for him.
At the USC 40. Malarkey and Jackson come to the bottom of the picture. As Peace turns and gives to Hampton, and Hampton runs it to the Southern California 38.
Let's watch the fumble recover again. Wilbur Marshall, number 88, who was all Southeastern Conference, chasing the play from behind. That's the value you have when a youngster like that has the ability, and he's right there, Johnny on the spot. He makes a great effort and gets the ball. Number 88, Wilbur Marshall.
Well, actually, 52 came away with it, but I guess Wilbur should have credit for it, shouldn't he?
He kept the quarterback from getting it at least.
Right. Second down and 8. Little pop pass, quick to the sidelines to Dixon. Dixon is wrestled down at about the 28. That'll be a Florida first down.
The pass that we just saw requires perfect timing to be complete. Wayne Dixon, number 83, is going to get him behind Troy West, and then he's going to just cushion, slow up, turn around, watch the ball in before the safety man comes over and knocks you down. That's number 8, Matt Johnson. Good play by Peace and Dixon.
First down, USC 28 for Florida. Ball goes to Jones, the big fullback, bangs to the 24. Right now, let's join Jim Lampley in our New York studio.
I'm Jim Lampley in our studio in New York. There is a seesaw battle going on in Norman, Oklahoma. At halftime, West Virginia led, then Oklahoma came back to take the lead early in the third quarter. Now on a 21-yard touchdown pass from Jeff Hostetler to Curlin Beck, West Virginia has gone back on top late in the third quarter, 27-21. Back to Gainesville.
Hostetler, of course, transferred from Penn State over to West Virginia. Second down and 7. Ball at the 20, just inside the 25. Peace up with it, puts it in the air. Yes! The catch made down at the Southern California 2-yard line. Spencer Jackson.
Southern Cal is in a too-deep secondary. This is where it's weak. You can see the safety man just couldn't get over to the ball and defend against that sideline cut. Spencer Jackson is going to go in behind the first man right there, which was Troy West. Now look how wide open he is. That's the weakness of the defense. If you can hit it, the timing was perfect.
Beautifully thrown ball. First and goal to go, Florida. The ball goes to the second man. The tailback Hampton goes up over the top and maybe got a half a yard. There isn't much daylight in the middle.
Boy, this Southern Cal defense has a history of rising to the occasion in this situation and turning back a threat. Florida is going to have to execute near perfectly to get the ball in the end zone. Although Lionel Hampton is very effective going over the top, very much like Herschel Walker.
That's Lorenzo. Not Lionel.
Lorenzo Hampton. Well, that's
Hampton again. Dive.
He's over.
No, he's not. No.
Right on the 1-foot line.
Ball, nose of the ball is just short of the goal line. Tried to go over the top, and he's a foot away. It'll be third down and goal to go.
Do the same thing. Hampton in the first ball game against Miami was very effective going over the top. If he'll make his shoulders narrow, the linebackers will not stop it.
Peace. No! Tries to sneak it in, and he gets slapped back. Wayne Peace trying to sneak it in, couldn't do it, and he may have lost some.
He did lose about a yard, and I question that call. When you've got Lionel Hampton, who made 2 yards on the play before going over the top, why risk a quarterback who has no momentum? He's right behind the center, and he has to step back before he gets started, and that's too late.
Got to call a timeout, I think, right here. Wayne Peace wants the timeout to come to the sidelines to talk. So the Gators spend another timeout, and we'll be back. Florida trying to get one on the board.
If you want to...
For the Florida Gators, fourth down and goal to go from the Southern California 1. Wayne Peace trying to sneak the ball in, was knocked back for at least 2 feet. If they try to fly now with Hampton again, he's got to have some wings. He's got to go farther. They split the backs this time.
They're very definitely not going over the top. They're going to roll out.
Peace stands up, throws for the corner. It's a bad pass. Did he catch it? My gosh, the kid caught it. Spencer Jackson came down with it. He threw it over the left shoulder, the trailing shoulder, and the kid made a marvelous catch. Spencer Jackson from Boca Raton. That's as good a catch as you'll ever see.
I was going to say that too, Pete. I don't think I've ever seen a more dramatic play than Spencer Jackson made, looking over his left shoulder, falling down and making this catch.
Wait till you go back and look at it. He's looking over his right shoulder all the way. The pass is thrown on the other side. Looked like it was a bad pass. The kick by Gainey was good. And the Florida Gators are on the board to lead Southern California 7-0 at 4 minutes and 52 seconds to play in the first half. Here's the play.
Fans, look at this catch. It's a quick raise-up pass. The ball is thrown right out the line. Watch what Spencer Jackson does. He's got it over his right shoulder. The ball is thrown over the left shoulder. He's got to turn and catch the ball. He cradles it in, and it's a touchdown. And let's see it again on the isolation. Number 14, Johnson, Hopper's trying to... Look at him over the right shoulder. Now he's got to turn and adjust, establish eye contact with that ball. Watch him turn his head, stretch his arms. Sensational. I don't know how you can explain it any other way.
And 7-0 Florida lead. Hopper was right there. I'm sure that Darrell felt he had him covered. But it was just a remarkable catch by Spencer Jackson. So they go 40 yards in 8 plays to take the lead. A series of unusual calls. The first two I could understand. The quarterback sneak I couldn't understand, and then lo and behold, they come up with that one.
That's the play that they work on. All teams work on it, but particularly Florida, because Peace is tall. He's 6'2", 215. He can take 2 steps back and throw the ball in a good arch right over the line and over the defensive back.
All right, Gainey will kick it off for the Gators. He didn't get much of it. He hits it straight up in the air, and it's going to be very, very short. It's taken by Browner, and Joey Browner is brought down as he comes up across the 20 to the 24, hit by Doug Drew. Coming up Saturday from Notre Dame Stadium at 9 Eastern Time, the first night game ever from that old football stadium, and it's quite a matchup. The Michigan Wolverines victorious today in their opening game. Anthony Carter and Steve Smith and the Big Wolves coming down to South Bend to take on the Fighting Irish.
Keith, I understand that Bo Schembechler's kind of hiding behind the log. He's got a better football team than most people had predicted.
I expect that. John Salisbury lines him up now, turns and gives the ball off. It goes to Michael Harper. Harper gets a couple of seal blocks and gets around the corner. He got a dandy block from Jeff Simmons before Ivory Curry knocks him out.
Wilbur Marshall is playing stacked in behind, and he's going to crash from outside. And let's see, I believe the off guard is supposed to block him. It would be 66.
Matthews.
And Matthews, number 66. That is a super block as he knocks an all-conference player right down. Number 66, Bruce Matthews, and I played with his daddy at Georgia Tech, a teammate of mine.
Clay Matthews. Clay Jr. played at Southern California. First down, Trojans up at the 36. Salisbury whips it over the middle. And the pass is complete out to the 44.
What we just witnessed on this pass is a new wrinkle that Southern Cal has added. It's a combination screen to the back, tight end over the middle.
And at tight end, Frank, is Fred Cornwell. Remember him from the Oklahoma game last year?
Do we have? He caught 3 passes last year, but the first one he caught in his Southern Cal career was with 6 seconds on the clock to defeat Oklahoma.
Just short of the 45. Second down and about a yard for SC. Salisbury running for his life. Gets the pass off, and the pass is incomplete, and that gets a penalty flag. Ivory Curry may get the flag here.
Once again, we see what the Southern Cal coaches have been telling us about the maneuverability of young Salisbury, the sophomore quarterback. We're going to watch the split end. Simmons going across the middle, and of course Curry, number 26, is playing man for man, and the rules say that Curry cannot make contact with Simmons until the ball has touched his hands. Let's see if we can see what happened. Curry, number 26,
runs over.
Very, very close call. He must have hit him. The official from the backside called it. I noticed that.
From the 37 of Florida, first down, Southern California.
Blitz again.
They got him, too. Wilbur Marshall put him down, but it was Tony Lilly blitzing from the free safety spot that forced him to spin around and delay.
This is what Florida told me they were going to do on the weak side to try to get some rush coming to the backside of Salisbury. The free safety just kind of disguised his coverage and then came up and blitzed and made the play.
Loss is from the 37 back to the 43. Second down and 16. Florida leading 7-0. Michael Harper gets away. Got away from Tim Newton, but the Gators get him at the 40. Fernando Jackson making the tackle.
What's happening on the play to the outside is that Marshall, the weak side in, is stacking back inside, trying to help on plays the other way as we look at Penn State finally defeating Maryland 39-31. Must have been an exciting football game.
27-27, West Virginia with a 21-yard scoring pass to even it up at 27. It's third down and about 13 just inside the Florida 40. Penalty flag thrown. That's going to be an illegal procedure against Southern Cal, but they've sacked Salisbury all the way back on the USC 40, so I think they were declined the penalty. Michael Harper in motion turned upfield too soon.
He sure did, Keith. He was too anxious to get down and get involved in the pattern. He saw the man-to-man coverage. He wanted to get deep. They will obviously refuse the penalty and force the punt. Marshall, number 88, had 16 sacks last year. You can see why. He's 6'2", 240 pounds, 4'6" speed, but watch him come, take on the blocker. 71 is Moore, who weighs 260 pounds. Watch Marshall go. That's a tremendous effort. You can see he's high as a kite for this football game.
So Pryor is in to punt. Curry is deep to receive for Florida. Gators lead at 7-0 with 2 minutes and 11 seconds to play in the first half. That's a dandy by Pryor. Oh, it's a beauty. It takes a high bounce, and they're going to put it down inside the 5, mark it at the 3. So a 54-yard punt by David Pryor. The Trojans down it at the Gators 3. You got a timeout and exactly 2 minutes to play in the first half. It's a hot day, and they have enlarged Florida Field to seat more than 72,000 people, and it was about the toughest ticket in the state of Florida today for this game. Now the Gators are back there where they've got to be careful. With a couple of minutes to play in the first half, they put Hampton in motion, snap the ball at the 3, and give it to James Jones, and Jones is just buried right about the 4.
Southern Cal should use their timeouts right here and force a punt. They have 3 timeouts left, and there's going on 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the half.
We've got a little bit of a breeze up here.
Florida will be kicking into the wind. That's right. We noticed that has come up since the start of the game.
Clock is still running at 1.5 minutes to go. They split the backs now. He's going to throw that little bumper, and it works. Oh, look at this. He's got Dixon open across midfield and down out of bounds at the Southern California 48-yard line. He took a piece of dynamite, shook it in his hands, hit the end off of it, and by gosh, it worked.
Watch the safety man, Joey Brown, and miss him right there. And you see Dixon, number 83, with extra speed. I'm sorry, it was a cornerback. Brown was over on the left, finally makes the play. The one that a gutty call by Mike Shanahan, the offensive coordinator of Florida.
Gain of 47 yards on the play. I'll tell you right now, he's a burglar, that fellow. They go to Jones. Jones goes to the sidelines, and he's belted out of bounds as he moves it down to about the 43. Matt Johnson knocked him out for SC.
Well, we have 1 minute and 13 seconds to go in the half. Florida's going to have to hit a couple of passes to get in field goal range.
Ball is at the 43-yard line. And we welcome those of you who have been watching the Michigan State-Illinois game. It is suspended for a period of time. Florida's leading Southern California 7-0. And the Florida Gators in the final seconds of the first half moving the football as that snap pass to Tyrone Young. With 1 minute and 7 seconds to play, the Gators have a first down at the Southern California 29. 1:07 to play in the first half. And Florida had the football back at their own 3. A gutty call on a little sideline flare that worked for 47 yards, and now the Gators are starting to threaten again to put some more points on the board as Wayne Peace under pressure rolls out, throws short. Jones has got it. James Jones is down to the Southern California 22. Brought down by Ricky Gray.
What poise by Wayne Peace. Georgia Chica had him for a loss, but Peace broke his grasp and went outside and completed the pass to Jones.
Peace is now 11 out of 14 in this first half for 143 yards. Time is called by the Gators. 44 seconds to play in the first half. And let's have a look right now at USC.
We are the University of Southern California, now in our 2nd century of service. Proud of our academic achievements, proud of our independence and strong private support. Preparing tomorrow's leaders in the sciences, the arts, and in the professions. USC, meeting the challenge of independent higher education for America.
Coming up at halftime, that's what we have for you with Jack Whitaker, Jim Lampley, and Beano Cook. To those of you who have been watching the Michigan State-Illinois game know what has happened. We have just learned here, for the rest of the country, those watching the Southern California-Florida game, the referee at the Michigan State-Illinois game has taken ill, and that game is temporarily suspended. So we welcome those who have been watching that game. When they resume it, we'll go back to it for that audience that has been watching the Illini and the Spartans. Right now, you've got the University of Florida Gators. Southern California took that timeout. Florida has one left. 44 seconds to play in the first half, leading by a score of 7-0 and trying to get some more. Second down and 3 from the Trojan 22. Ball goes to the fullback, James Jones, and Jones runs through 2 tacklers to the corner. Touchdown! The Florida Gators show you some wheeling and dealing, and then they give it off to their horse, and he ran right through 2 Trojan tacklers and slammed it in the end zone.
And a key block by Tyrone Young, number 10, allowed him to go all the way for the touchdown. Wide receiver Tyrone Young blocking the cornerback.
Sybil holds, Gainey kicks, it's good. 37 seconds to play in the first half. The Florida Gators lead the Southern California Trojans 14-0.
Let's watch the draw play. Obviously, Southern Cal is tired. They're thinking rush the passer, and the lineman turn. Watch right to while you screen. You see Tyrone block. Tyrone block makes the key block in for the touchdown. Let's watch it from the end zone. Look at the pocket and the block. Here's the blocking where the offensive line just opens up the hole. Jamie Jones is a great football player. Good speed, 4.6. You can see that as a fullback, he has outstanding speed, and he breaks for the corner of the flag and makes the touchdown.
Brian Luft along the defensive line.
Tyrone Young, number 10, who was a former quarterback, he stays with his block. Watch this. He's blocking on number 8, which happens to be Matt Johnson. He rolls. Watch this second little effort right here by his head. Just enough to throw Jones in and allow Jones to go in for the touchdown. Oh, it's just great team effort for the touchdown by everybody on the Florida team.
Gainey will kick it now. Harper and Browner are deep. It's a big image ball game for both these teams, especially the Florida Gators. And Joey Browner trying to come back up the field. The Gators will have none of it. They are swarming Leon Pennington, the first man downfield, the hot man.
And a flag dropped. I think the Florida Gators were a little bit overeager and piled on. No face mask.
If it's intentional twisting and pulling on it, it'll be 15. If it is an incidental grab, it'll be 5. Incidental. The story on the drive. Look at that.
That's sensational. When you would think that Florida would just run out, maybe run out the clock and make the first down, they get a big play effort from Dwayne Dixon, their wide receiver, as he broke a tackle on a little short pass and raised 47 yards to make up most of the yards of the drive.
Started on their 3, so it'd be a 97-yard mark.
How many times have you seen teams march 97 yards against Southern Cal?
Not many.
Not many.
First down, Trojans, ball at their own 14. Long count by Salisbury. Hands the ball off to Kamenov, a fullback. And John's got a yard, maybe 2. Tom Wiegman brought him down.
I think under the circumstances, Southern Cal is making the right decision. Just run the clock out. They've lost their momentum. Don't take a chance and have something else go wrong against you. Just run the clock out. Stay in the huddle.
And that's what they do. So the Florida Gators have a 14-0 lead over the Southern California Trojans at halftime in Gainesville. Right now, here is Tim Brandt with Coach Charlie Pell.
Coach, I've got to ask you about the series down here, the first touchdown. Why did you go with the quarterback sneak or the draw play up tight instead of Jones?
Well, we thought the linebackers were shooting so much for our going over the top. That's why we wanted to go with a sneak. But they pinched it in and stopped it. Did a great job.
You've got to be pleased. The offense, with its back to the wall, came up with a big play time and time again. The defense now has sacked Salisbury 4 times, minus 40 yards.
Well, we had some mental breakdowns on our kicking game. We had a penalty. We had to take a timeout when we didn't have our substitution right, and we got 2 consecutive penalties on one time. We lost our poise there at the beginning of the second quarter. And poise is a key, playing a team as great as USC.
Second week in a row, penalties have hurt you.
They are hurting us bad, and they're youngsters, and they're mental things, and that's what we got to have the second half.
Okay, back up to you, Keith.
All right, Tim. So Charlie Fell goes to the locker room with a 14-0 lead. We'll be back with the halftime activities after this message about an upcoming show on ABC and a word from a local station. Back in Gainesville, Florida, where the Florida Gators are leading the Southern California Trojans by a score of 14-0 at halftime. I'm Keith Jackson, along with Coach Frank Broyles. Let's take a look at some of the highlights out of the first half. Go first to the Florida first touchdown, where Wayne Peace on 4th down throws what appears to be an errant pass going to his receiver's left shoulder with the receiver looking right. But watch this catch by Spencer Jackson.
Just a sensational catch because he has to watch the ball and establish contact with the eye contact with the ball over his shoulder. You won't see any better than that.
Now to the playbook, our electronic diagram here to give you an idea of how it was that Florida scored its second touchdown, capping a 97-yard drive with a draw play.
The draw play means fake pass and run. The lineman block like it's a pass, enticing the defensive men to rush. And then the fullback, Jamie Jones, sees a little opening, and he breaks right up the middle, and here it is, just perfect execution. The defense are just expecting a pass. They're trying to get back to Peace. Good blocking by the Florida offensive line. And, of course, Jamie Jones is all Southeastern Conference fullback last year. He can catch the ball. He can run. He's a complete football player. He has the speed, breaking in behind a block by wide receiver Tyrone Young for the touchdown.
He was the hero in Florida's opening game, winning 17-14 against Miami, when he made a one-handed stab at the goal line, about the 1-yard line, and fell in for the winning touchdown. Let's talk about the second half. It's my feeling that USC has not armed Sean Salisbury with a whole lot of bullets. He doesn't have probably a very wide selection of plays, but maybe the weather is going to be a big factor too.
Keith, I think it'd be a major factor in the football game because Florida has been practicing in the same weather. And the second half is going to take a gutty performance by Southern Cal to get back in the ball game. But I don't expect any quick fix plan by John Robinson. I think he'll stick to his knitting, but the one thing he's got to improve, Keith, is pass protection. Salisbury was sacked 4 times, and until he can do that, they have no chance.
The Southern California offensive line has not been able to control the Florida defensive people so far. So that's where we are at halftime, 14-0 Gators.
Coach John Robinson, Southern Cal. Coach, what adjustments did you make at halftime to alleviate some of the pressure on Salisbury?
Well, they came with 3 blitzes in a row there, and all 3 got to us, and all 3, I think we had an adjustment that we just didn't do. 1 was a blocking thing, and 2 were calls by the quarterback. We talked about it, and we'll have an adjustment either to audible to a run or get the right pass blocking going.
The team still composed and all right mentally?
Damn right we are. Hell yes, this is a very close football game. All we got to do is take care of ourselves and shut down a couple of big plays by them. We're back in this ball game.
All right, Coach. Back up to you, Keith.
Okay, Tim Brett, here we go with the deep men. John L. Williams, 22, Lorenzo Hampton, number 7 for Florida. Southern California will kick off. Steve Jordan will hit it from his 40. We still have had no rain, but it's cooled off some now, and a little light breeze is blowing as the kick goes to number 22, John L. Williams, and he's coming out of the end zone. And he keeps on coming to about the 18, where Jeff Brown brings him down. Here's your Southern California defensive unit now. John Harvey, a big tackle out of Compton. Georgia Chica, the middle guard. And Byron Darby, the defensive tackle from Inglewood, California. Jack Del Rio is a linebacker outside, 235. Keith Browner weighs in at 215. August Curley weighs in at 224. And Ricky Gray at 220. First play of the second half. Florida leading 14-0, and it comes as the ball is snapped just short of the 19. Wayne Peace turns around and gives it to Earl Williams. the fullback, and he is wrestled down by Keith Browner as he reaches the 21 for 2 yards.
Keith Browner.
Keith Browner, number 57, is playing right over the tight end. His job is just to anchor there. Don't do anything till you find where the ball carrier is. Use your hands, and he pushes the blocker aside, Malarkey, the tight end, and comes and makes the play. Just an outstanding defensive play by Keith Browner.
2nd down and 8 from the Florida 21. Just starting the second half. Same play. Same people involved. Here's the secondary defensively for Southern California. Troy West at 6'1", cornerback. Dwayne Jackson at 6 feet, cornerback. Strong safety is Matt Johnson, 6'2", and Joey Browner, the free safety, at 6'3". They're all rangy. The Florida backs and receivers, Peace at quarterback, Hampton and Jones the setbacks, with Dixon and Jackson the wideouts for the Gators. The offensive front, Black Hunt, Cromley, Schulteis, Brown, Malarkey. Jackson goes to the top of the screen. Little different offensive sets here, starting the second half for Florida. As Peace goes on a drop, drops it off on a screen pass to number 44, Williams. And Williams really never got set behind his blockers. He was a little bit ahead of them, and he couldn't cash in on what appeared to be a big gainer.
He made the mistake, as Keith mentioned, on a screen pass. You fake inside and go back out and stay behind your blockers, but he started coming to the inside. As we look at the stats, and you can see the progress that Florida made, 220 yards total offense, but look at 79 yards rushing. That's what they wanted to do, establish some run, because they've won 10 straight ball games when they outrushed their opponents.
That is not up to Chris Wells' punting standards, but he certainly gets the advantage. It was a tail dragger, and it takes a long roll down inside the Southern California 25. So, Florida now sends this defensive unit out. Alton Jones at 252. Tim Newton, we told you, 285. John Whitaker at 252, the 3 down men. Wilbur Marshall weighs 230. Val Brown weighs 229, and outside linebackers. Fernando Jackson at 207, and the other inside man is Tom Wiegman, 228. First down, Southern California now from the 25. Salisbury gives the ball off to the tailback Harper, and pouncing on him is Wilbur Marshall.
And all the way from the weak side.
Bruce Vaughn is the cornerback for the Gators, 5'11". Ivory Curry, 5'11", the other corner. The safeties, Randy Clark in at 6 feet, and Tony Lilly at 6'1". No gain on the play. In fact, he lost about a half a yard. Second down for SC. Gators are leading 14-0 as we start play in the third quarter. Salisbury pitches to Harper. Harper trying to swing it right, and the gate won't open, as the Florida defense is just playing Southern California off their feet right now. Number 51, Timmy Newton, was over there. A new record for attendance here at the University of Florida, 73,238.
We are looking at the new addition. The end zone has been made into a horseshoe, adding 18,000 seats. They removed 8,000 temporary bleachers.
Net gain is 10. It is third down and 10 for Southern California from their own 25. The 4-man front right now for the Gators, and Salisbury back to throw it. Looks over the middle, gets time, throws over the middle, and completes the pass to Timmy White up at the 40.
When you give Salisbury, who has a strong arm, 5 receivers out, watch the protection. Only 3 men rushing, and they double up on Salisbury. Has plenty of time. He throws the ball right inside for the completion to Timmy White, number 6. White's going to go down and turn in behind the linebackers, and he's open. The ball's right there.
And it's first down, Southern California. Ball goes to the tailback, Michael Harper, turns it back to the 42, and that'll do it. Wilbur Marshall.
Wilbur Marshall, number 88, all Southeastern Conference last year. He's kind of a free roamer. He just plays football. The coaches say, Wilbur, just go find it. We don't care where it goes. You chase it. You have the speed, and it comes right to him on this time, and he makes the play.
Give him 1 yard. Second down, 9 from the 41. Again, this time he's got some daylight. and has what appears to be a first down as he crosses midfield.
Excellent blocking by Mosbar, the right offensive tackle, who has already made all Pac-10 and some preseason All-Americans. He's 6'7", 270 pounds. He opened up the way for Michael Harper, the tailback, to cut inside. It's going to be close.
They'll bring the chains on to bring you up to date if you joined us late while the chains come in. A pass to Jackson for a touchdown. Right now, let's go to New York.
They are approaching an end to the festivities in Norman, Oklahoma, and this will be the day's first major upset. Jeff Hostetler, the Penn State transfer at quarterback for West Virginia, threw his 4th touchdown pass of the day. Then Curlin Beck ran 43 yards, 2 West Virginia touchdowns, a 41-27 lead in the closing moments. Now back to Keith Jackson.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. Florida scored on a 1-yard pass piece to Jackson. It is 3rd down, and he's just inches for a first down here. And then Jones, a 22-yard run, capping a 97-yard march for the 14-0 lead. Salisbury keeps the ball, tries to wedge for his first down, slides off to the right and falls forward and gets the first down for Florida at the Gator 49. 10 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. It is very important, Frank, that Southern California put together some consistency offensively here to start the second half.
I think that Southern Cal was probably a little bit overconfident coming into the ball game, as we talked earlier. But they're going to have to get together right now. Florida will have a lot of momentum.
5-man front now for the Gators. As Jackson comes into the backfield, the play goes inside. And there is about 4 yards down near the 45. Looks like they'll mark it on the 46 for Tom Spencer. West Virginia beats Oklahoma, huh? How about that? Well, this is the year of the 5th-year senior. Dating back from the redshirting of freshmen, you're going to see a lot of surprises. They don't have total parity by any means, but there's some equality.
Here's the blitz.
That is Spencer trying to get outside. And it is at the 43. A couple of minutes to play out in Norman. I don't mean to infer that it's over, but they're closing in on it. Going to bring up a 3rd down as we remind you again, next Saturday night at 9 Eastern Time, we'll have the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame opening the season against the Michigan Wolverines, who won their game today against Wisconsin. Third down and about 4, short 4. Crowd getting on the Trojans. Salisbury wanted to throw a quick one, and he didn't have anybody to throw it to, and by the time Crutcher turned back to him coming out of the backfield, he missed him.
Well, that's where they missed Marcus Allen on a little pass like that. Crutcher should have turned inside. He turned outside, and then he tried to turn back, and it was too late. Just a mishap by the Southern Cal back.
John Robinson told me before the season, as he neared the end of his practice, as Dave Pryor comes in to punt, that he either had 3 starting tailbacks or he had a committee. Right now, I would say he's got a committee. We have not seen Zep Lee. Pryor's kick, he's going to try to punch it up and let it knuckleball down there, and so the Trojans can down it. But Curry comes up and calls a fair catch just outside the 13-yard line, and therefore they will have it with 8:34 to go, 3rd quarter, and the Gators leading 14-0. Dwayne Peace has hit 9 passes now for 110 yards. His total numbers are 12 out of 15 for 146. He's got a hot hand.
Keith, I think that's the difference in the ball game. Experienced quarterback for Florida.
First down for the Gators. It's just beyond the 13. Peace stands up, goes that sideline. He gets intercepted. It is picked off by, looked like Matt Court. Or is it Troy West? It is Troy West, number 9. The cornerback dropped back there, and it was West that got beat on a play similar to that got Florida on its way to the 97-yard touchdown.
It's a little variation of the pass that they hit earlier, where they were going to fake the quick pass and go deep. But West is not fooled, and Peace throws the ball right to him. You can see West just turns around, establishes eye contact with the ball immediately, and pulls it down for the interception to give Southern Cal a great opportunity.
at the Florida 19-yard line. First down, Trojans. Harper is the tailback. Kamana is the fullback. The blitz is on, and Marshall gets Salisbury.
Wilbur Marshall makes a sensational play. He gets the jump on the snap count, and he goes right by the left offensive tackle, who happened to be Mosbar. Watch the left of your screen. He is going to jump right outside, and the guard is coming out to get him, which happens to be Moore, and he can't get him, and it's a free shot at the back of Salisbury, the quarterback, by Marshall.
The 5th sack of the Southern California quarterback. The ball is resting back at the Florida 27. Loss of 8, and Harper isn't going anywhere. It's Marshall again.
This is one of the great performances we've seen in a long time. Marshall is going to always line up where there's no tight end, meaning he has a free shot to penetrate in the backfield. And he is taught to chase the play across the line. He has that great quickness, and once again, he makes an outstanding play.
The loss is back to the 29. 2 more. It's third down and 20 for Southern California. Salisbury, quick pop. Ball comes loose. Harper takes a wallop from Tony Lilly. He had the ball, and Lilly just knocked him loose from it.
And Marshall made Salisbury throw the ball before he wanted to. Salisbury blitzed inside. Watch him. Marshall blitzes inside the tackle this time, and there's no one there. He's free. The guard had pulled out thinking he was coming from the outside, and you can see that Salisbury had no chance except to get rid of the ball.
Salisbury now 5 of 12 in passing for 72 yards. In comes the Southern California field goal unit. Steve Jordan is in to do the punting, the place kicking rather. He sets it up on the 36. It'll be a 46-yard field goal attempt. He has the range. The hold is good. The kick is up. It is wide to the right. So the Florida Gators defense is taking the game away from Southern California with 6:52 to go in the third quarter. At the 29 of Florida, the Gators take over after the Trojans miss wide right on the field goal try. Florida leading 14-0. Wayne Peace sets him up with Jones and Hampton behind him. On a roll, he's got pressure, and the Trojans sucking. Down he goes as John Harvey got loose to do a little sacking on his own. The loss is back inside the 20 to the 18. Jeff Hostetler left Penn State, transferred to West Virginia, and look what he did today. 4 touchdowns, hitting 29 of 37 for 333 yards, and the Mountaineers defeat Oklahoma in Norman 41-27.
And our congratulations to Coach Don Nealon. Tremendous job that he's done there at West Virginia.
West Virginia chewed up Florida in the Peach Bowl last year. Ball goes off to the tailback. And he's across the 20 out to about the 22 before Ricky Gray brings down Lorenzo Hampton.
We look at John Robinson, and he's got to be confused a little bit and disappointed. Keith, I don't ever remember one player dominating a possession as Wilbur Marshall did last time after the offense allowed the interception and gave Southern Cal the score, and Marshall took over and stopped them.
All right, it's now third down and about 18, 17. Back goes Peace. Pressure's on again. Chica after him. Pass is intercepted by Curley, then dropped by Curley. The ball is loose and the scramble's on. Did he have possession? Yes, he did. Southern California's got the ball. And so the Gators turn it over now and hold on to everything. There is a man shaken up down on the field. He is holding his right wrist. He is in pain. His name is James Jones.
Well, that would be a major loss if he couldn't play anymore in this ball game. But let's give credit to the Southern Cal defense. They've taken the ball away on 2 possessions and given their team a chance to score.
That is a very, very important injury to be checked out right there. Here's the play.
Peace is going to scramble. Southern Cal has the play covered, and Chica forces him out of the pocket, number 78. And Peace just throws the ball up for scrambles. Great play by August Curley, number 87. He stripped to the ball, but it goes right back to the Southern Cal Trojans, and they recover it. Number 57, Keith Browner.
So here's Southern Cal now with another opportunity at the Florida 33. The Gators have 7 men up on front now, and boy, they are hammering. Kamana, the fullback, trying to find a little crease in there, and there isn't one. As Newton and company come hammering in. Fernando Jackson, 49, looked like he had the first contact.
In the last, while the offense was over on the bench, I'm sure they tried to get their blocking straight on Wilbur Marshall again. He is on the open side, meaning that he has a straight shot. The tackle or the back are going to have to stay in and block him. The guard cannot pull out and get him in time.
Second down. Maybe 9. It goes to Fred Crutcher, and Crutcher tripped over John Kamanaw's leg as he tried to generate some speed. And then Fred McAllister, the inside linebacker from Melbourne, hit him on the numbers. ABC's Wide World of Sports features the WBA light heavyweight champion Michael Spinks. 21 consecutive wins, defending against Johnny Davis. Johnny Davis is the only man to have beaten Dwight Braxton, who is presently the WBC light heavyweight champion. That'll be on ABC's Wide World of Sports Saturday. Next Saturday.
Salisbury's changing the play.
Goes to Crutcher, student body right. Wilbur Jackson. Wilbur Marshall, I should say, not Wilbur Jackson. Spencer Jackson.
Another sensational play. I'm not sure that Harper not only wouldn't have made the first down if Wilbur Marshall coming from across the backfield. He has done this all his career. 9 unassisted tackles so far. Look at the speed. He is going across to try to catch the tailback on the student body sweep, and there he is, grabbing Crutcher and throwing him to the ground.
Marshall's first year at Florida, he was a tight end.
Last week against Miami, he had 16 tackles.
Penalty.
5 yards, defense.
5-yard penalty, grabbing a face mask.
So an incidental grabbing of the face mask results in a 5-yard penalty against Florida. Moves Southern California to a first down at the Gators 23. Simmons and White, both wide left. Bottom of the picture. There's not much there, is it?
Wilbur Marshall took on Kamana, the fullback, and there was nothing there. Again, it was Wilbur Marshall. He made the play with the fullback's feet, the offensive fullback's feet.
Second down, call it 11 from the 20 outside the 23.
Safety blitz.
Salisbury, broken play, pulls it down, tries to run it, gets a little bit out of it, gets it down to the 20. Now let's check on the injury to Jones with Tim Brent.
Keith, I just talked to Jones. He said he just took a pretty good look in his arm. He's okay. He'll be back in the ball game. Back up to you.
Thank you, sir.
The Florida defense has done their job. They've got it into a passing situation after the turnover, the second turnover this quarter by Wayne Peace, throwing the ball right to the defense.
2 minutes and 44 seconds to play in the third quarter. It is third down and the long 7 from the Florida 20 for the Trojans. Salisbury under pressure, gets the pass off to the fullback, Kamana. But then it stops with a sudden jolt as Tom Wiegman hits him just about the time the ball gets there. The Florida defense is spectacular.
Oh, they're using exotic stunts. On that occasion, the free safety was coming, and all that Salisbury could do was throw it very quickly, but Wiegman, the linebacker, was right there to make the play.
And Steve Jordan comes in. Having missed from 46 yards, he will now try one from 39. The hold is good. The kick is long enough. And it's good. And Southern California finally gets on the scoreboard. With 1:49 to play in the third quarter, it is now Florida 14, USC 3. Jordan will kick off now for Southern California as the Trojans get a 39-yard field goal from Steve to get on the board at 14-3. The man who tried to block the kick, Bruce Vaughn, a cornerback, was carried from the field with a leg injury.
And I think we should mention that the defensive backfield at Florida has been riddled with injuries. Both of the backup cornerbacks, Gilliam and McGeever, are injured, cannot play.
And Lorenzo Hampton are the beat people. It's going to go to Williams at the 2. He's got a pretty good wedge. Almost popped it out of there. Comes out to the 25 before Tony Brewer brings him down for Southern California.
Keep it.
Here scores from other games. Washington at halftime by 27 over Texas El Paso.
Keith, while we're looking at these scores, we're going to watch Huco is coming in the ball game at quarterback. They have benched Wayne Peace for the 2 interceptions he's just thrown. Huco started 2 years ago at quarterback, led the Gators to 3 straight wins, and then was injured. Peace is now on the bench.
He's a 6'3" senior from Hatboro, Pennsylvania. He's a left-hander. He gives the ball to Hampton. Hampton trying to go outside. Gets away from Keith Browner and turns the corner to the 40, where Joey Browner knocks him out of bounds.
The Florida coaches feel that Bob Huco, who started as a sophomore, is an outstanding football player. If you look at the Missouri victory over Army, but he had a knee injury in 1980 and a knee injury last year.
You want to look at that score there? Didn't you want to see that score?
Joe Cap, Coach Joe Cap.
No, not that one. The one in front of it. The Hogs won, beat Tulsa 38-0. See?
No, I didn't see that.
First down for the Gators. Here comes John L. Williams to the 47. James Jones, incidentally, is back in the ball game. So Florida now sending the speedsters wide and moving the football. That's just short of a first down.
Well, Florida recruited 5 outstanding running backs because they have needed this to bolster their running game. And there's an example of a good freshman making a nice run.
Change coming in. UCLA on top of Long Beach State in the second quarter in their opener for the Bruins. They'll be playing their games in the Rose Bowl this year.
Keith, I think we have to go back to the change of quarterbacks because that's a dramatic thing as we look at the distance left for the first down. Wayne Peace has had outstanding success since he came on as a freshman midway the 1980 season. And we're looking at Bruce Ball, the outstanding quarterback, who had 5 tackles, second in the Southeastern Conference in interceptions last year with 4. His loss would really hurt Gators.
Got him iced down now with ice on the leg.
Chances are he will not play anymore this year. There's John Salisbury getting a little bit of a rough introduction to college football against this fine Florida football team and the outstanding defensive play of one Will DeMartin.
Florida has the football. It is second down and about a foot or so for a first down. Ball is sitting exactly on the 47-yard hash mark. You have 1 minute and 29 seconds to play in the third quarter. 14-3, Florida leading.
Unbalanced line to the left, causing the USC defense to do some moving around as John L. Williams comes busting over the middle and gets the first down at the Southern California 49. Teams use the offensive line to get the defense to move to an unfamiliar position, and it gives the offense a chance to get a little bit of a surge and a short yardage. Total yardage, the edge obviously belongs to Florida, as the scoreboard indicates. Southern California's running game has just been blunted by the Florida defense so far. On first down, Huco gives the ball off to James Jones, carrying the ball in the left hand. It was the right arm that was banged up. Byron Darby brings him down with help from August Curley. Here's Tim again.
Keith, Wayne Peace is not hurt. The word down on the sideline is they just wanted to change. He might have a stronger arm, Bobby Hugo may, and so they just tried to get a little thing shaken up in that offense.
Yes, sir.
Mainly 2 interceptions deep in his own territory.
Yet he pulled one off. Pass completion that...
And sometimes that comes back to haunt you. You get careless, and that's what Wayne Peace did.
42-yard line, second down. Williams trying to carry it. Darrell Williams, a 225-pound fullback, and Georgia Chica planted it.
Georgia Chica really merits double-team block, but look, he splits the double-team block. Brownlee, the center, just ignores him, and Chica comes right back in and stops the fullback for no gain.
Third down. The ball is on the 42. They've got to go almost a 38 for the first down. And they will run no more here in the third quarter. It's over. We'll continue after this commercial message and the word from our local station. Ball is at the Southern California 42. Sends a man in motion. That's Dixon. They'll put it up. Throws it short. Pass is complete to Malarkey, the tight end. He's got a first down. Gators have the football. Southern California 30. Darrell Hopper knocks it out.
Beautiful timing by Hugo. The tight end is open only momentarily. Malarkey, the tight end, was a quarterback as a freshman. He ran the play beautifully, got into the open area. Watch Hugo. He's got the throw on about the 5th step. There it is, the 5th step. He lets it go. Malarkey, number 82, cradles the ball in and makes the first down.
And the Gators are moving it just short of the 30. 14:53 to play in the ball game. That is James Jones. Jones gets one block. Got a block from Dwayne Dixon, but Dixon couldn't make it stick. And Troy West finally knocks Jones out of bounds. Well, we've had one big upset posted already today. 41-27, West Virginia beating Oklahoma. There were some others cooking, and Maryland took a pretty good run at Penn State. Here are the numbers for the third quarter.
We can see the first down's about even. Florida leads in rushing, which is a big surprise. We kind of anticipated his passing. Total offense, 2 turnovers apiece.
James Jones, 12 carries, 59 yards, 22 of them for a touchdown. He's got it again. Turns it upfield and tries to dive for the first down. Troy West again takes his feet from under him. And looks like Jim might be just a little short.
Tremendous effort by Jamie Jones. He starts outside, and the Southern Cal defense starts going to the boundary, and then he has that quickness to cut inside the blocks, and he makes a nice gain. There's his work for the day. 13 rushes, 64 yards. Pretty darn good for a fullback against Southern Cal defense.
John L. Brown, number 14, goes into the Florida backfield now. Lines up in what amounts to a wingback position over there. Double tight end alignment. They give the ball off to Hampton, and Lorenzo goes right through the middle. Lost his footing because nobody touched him. He expected contact at the line of scrimmage, and when he went through clean, he fell down. Otherwise, he might have scored.
Hampton ran right over Buddy Schulteis at right guard, number 73. Let's watch his block. He blocks a Chica all the way down inside, and look at the hole. You at the hole have a good view of the blocking that let Hampton go. Watch Schulteis, who has been a starter. Watch his shoulder. He puts that headgear and blocks him right to the inner side, and that's an All-American that he's blocking. Tremendous play.
And the Southern California Trojans call a timeout. It is first down Florida. The ball at the SC 14. Another look at Schulteis' block on a Chica that opened the door for Hampton.
Watch Schulteis stick his headgear right underneath the headgear of a Chica, and when he gets that position, he keeps his feet going. The key to a great block is keeping your feet moving, and that was sensational. They'll run that over in the locker room on Monday afternoon about 15 times and show the entire team what you can do if you make up your mind to get it done.
The football is near the Southern California 14, 13:49 to play in the game. Florida leading 14-3. Trying to get some more. Hugo turns and gives to Darrell Williams. Ricky Gray, I can see, stacked in there, number 35, and Brian Luft, along with Jack Del Rio. ABC's Monday Night Football, NFL football, Pittsburgh and Dallas. Next Monday at 9 Eastern Time, the premiere for the 1982 season. And it's a terrific kickoff for the Monday night series. The Steelers and the Cowboys here on ABC. Second down and 8. Hugo again gives the ball off. It goes to Jones. Jones is laboring some now with what has been reconsidered and called a pinched nerve. But James still running hard as he finds his way inside the 8 near the 7.
And he's running right behind Dan Fike, number 69, the big offensive tackle, who's been a starter at Florida for 4 years. He's 6'6", 270, has quick feet, and he got the advantage on the defensive tackle and made the block on that last play.
He has been particularly effective today. Hugo stands up, lobs it up in the corner. No. Trying to go for the same kind of a play that piecework to Spencer Jackson. This one intended for Gary Roll out of Miami.
Oh, I know the quarterbacks wish they had that one back. 3rd down and 3, and they're moving the ball at about a 4-yard clip on the ground. You wonder why they turn and throw the pass right there when they have 2 downs to make 3 yards.
Jim Gainey is in to kick now. He missed from 39 yards earlier today. He was 1-1 against Miami. Good one was 38 yards. This one, they're going to put it down on the 18. It is up. It is good. So with 12 minutes and 37 seconds to play, a 28-yard field goal makes Florida's lead now 17-3. What did they win? Well, they're happy at Florida Field in Gainesville right now with their team sitting on a 14-point lead, 17-3.
The entire Florida team has been very impressive. Offensive, defensive, kicking in every area.
Gainey kicks off after the 24-yard field goal and kicks it through the end zone and beyond the restraining line. So Southern California will come out at the 20, first down, and we'd like to congratulate our ABC affiliate, WTLV, in Jacksonville, Florida, on their 25th anniversary this month. Good folks over there.
I think one thing is worth mentioning. So far in these first 3 quarters and 3 minutes, Southern Cal has not run a draw play or a screen to try to take advantage of the big rush by the Florida defense.
Well, you figure the Gators are going to load it up again. Where's Wilbur? He's at the top of the picture. Salisbury straight back. Jackson dropped off in pass coverage. The pass is underthrown. Ivory Curry was coming across to assist on the coverage. The intended receiver, Jeff Simmons.
Southern Cal now has to change their strategy. They're 14 points behind with 32 to play. They have to go to the air a lot more frequently.
I just wonder how many bullets they put in Salisbury's weapon. How many plays he got to work with?
Well, they've got the Brigham Young coach, which has their pass attack has unlimited possibilities.
They're going to get nailed there for delay, I think.
They jumped off sides. The right guard, right tackle just couldn't wait.
Just took off.
Flag in the play.
Call it procedure. 12 and a half minutes to play. We said when we came on the air, Frank, that we felt this was the biggest image game that Florida may have ever played, especially during the regular season.
I believe
Charlie Pell had said at the beginning
foul, illegal procedure, offense, second down.
Charlie said it before the season started that they had to sell themselves on playing, capable of contending for national ranking. They win this today, they're going to get a big boost. Second down and 15. Salisbury back. Goes deep with it and hits Simmons. And Jeff comes down with it at the 35. So it's a first down for the Trojans.
Simmons somehow got isolated on the strong safety, Clark, number 81, who was a linebacker up until this year. When Knight, their strong safety, got hurt, you can see Clark, number 81, is a little bit out of position when Simmons gives him a little push and breaks it outside. He separates himself, and he's open for the completion.
Salisbury now 7 out of 15 for 90 yards in his debut as the starting quarterback for SC. Want to put it up again. He's looking for White, and he throws it behind him. White was cutting across and looked like Vaughn is back into the game now. You can see, so he's apparently all right.
Here's what we mentioned early in the game. You can see that Florida has rushed for 132 yards, but the key is that their players knew coming into this game, it's been written about for the last week or two, that every game they outrushed their opponents, they've won in the last 2 years. 10-0, unblemished. That gets your attention in the squad.
Second down and 10 for the Trojans from the 35. Salisbury again has time and again misses his man. The pass intended for Timmy Ware, number 19. He threw that ball behind him.
You're going to watch White. It's a curl in behind the linebackers. Timmy Ware, number 29, I think it is, coming inside.
19.
Number 19, Timmy Ware, and the ball was thrown behind, as Keith mentioned. 18 safety man Lilly was right there to make the play.
Third down and 10 from the 35. They haven't thrown to the fullback today either. Just maybe one time they did. There's a whistle. Umpire stops it. So penalty coming up here against Southern California. Let's go back to something that happened earlier in the day when the referee was taken ill during the Michigan State-Illinois game. Heart attack. And we're now told that Rich McVeigh died from a heart attack.
Foul, illegal procedure, offense.
Known Rich a long time. I'm terribly sorry to hear it. 11 minutes and 47 seconds to play in the game. Salisbury now 1 of 7 in the last 7 passes he's thrown.
If we look at the bottom of the screen, Southern Cal's in trips formation. 3 receivers to this side. On the bottom of your screen.
3rd and 15 from the 30. Pressure. Gets it off, going deep. White's down there. Vaughn's with him. Vaughn intercepts it. He couldn't throw it far enough.
That's a good call, Chief, because White is in behind Vaughn. Vaughn is the young man that was injured, number 47. You can watch him as White goes right by him, but the arm is not there, and Vaughn goes up and makes the interception, turns the tide away, and we'll be right back.
Over the ball come the Florida Gators as Southern Cal turns it over for the 3rd time, just short of their own 24. Donnell Williams carries it up to about the 26. Brian Luft, defensive tackle, makes the stop on him. Time now becoming the ally of Florida. Gators lead 17-3 with 11 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the game.
Look at the Southern Cal football team. They've got to be tired. They are not accustomed to this much heat. Florida has just carried the ball game to them, and I'm sure that they are feeling a little bit of the effects of the heat. A little bit slower lining up than they were earlier.
Looks like they want a number 63. The officials had taken the time themselves, and they're sending John Harvey to the sideline. Looks like John is just absolutely worn out. He sort of wobbles as he gets to the sidelines. And here's Florida now, 2nd down, 8. Wayne Peace is back at quarterback. Here's Jones throwing the ball. Pass is completed to Gary Roll. Jones has done that before.
What else can Jamie Jones do? He's 4 out of 5 incompletions last year, 1 for a touchdown. He took the pitch and just made enough of a fake for the Southern Cal defense to suspect run, and the receiver was wide open.
I hope that last sign I saw there doesn't jolt some mom and dad. They got married. It's 1st down, Florida. Ball is near the 38. East gives the ball to Darrell Williams, and Williams runs into Luft, and he stops. Gain of about a yard on the
Gerald
carry.
Williams, the ball carrier.
So the Michigan Wolverines opening their season successfully today in the Big Ten Conference. Next week, the Wolverines will go down to South Bend and play the first night game ever at old Notre Dame Stadium. My goodness, what a place of legend that is. They take on Jerry Faust's Fighting Irish. Michigan handled them last year decisively at Ann Arbor, and the Wolverines beat Wisconsin today 20-9. In rushing so far, Florida 135 yards, USC 69. Florida defense shut down the Trojan offense. Again, it's John L. Williams. And he gets a couple of 3 yards up across the 40 to about the 42. So the Gators now trying to grind it out and keep that clock running at 9:40 to play in the game.
If you've joined us along the way, Florida started this season with the idea they're going to have to run the football if they're going to develop any consistency. As we look at some comparisons there, total yards and yards passing by Florida. But Florida has looked very impressive running the football today against Southern Cal.
It's 3rd down and 6 for Wayne Peace. Darby's after him, and he runs him right into Harvey. John gets him. So it's a big loss on the play, and Florida's Roy Criswell will come in to punt. It is the 3rd sack of the Florida quarterback by the Trojans.
I think Peace learned his lessons when he threw for 2 interceptions in the 3rd quarter on a heavy rush. This time he ate the ball. I would like to see him plant his foot and just get down for a 2 or 3 yard loss instead of about 10 yards.
Criswell's punts have been 39, 50, and 50 today. Still really hasn't hit one. Michael Harper way back downfield pretty much by himself, but he calls fair catch back at the USC 34. 8:31 to play in the game.
Now where would Harper?
All right, 8:31 to play in the ball game. Southern California has it, first down at their 34, and they trail 17-3. It is gut check time for the Trojans. Little flip outside to Kamana, the fullback. He spins and fights his fumbles the football, and Florida's got it. Fred McAllister had the Trojan fullback left up.
He called it down. He called the ball dead.
Down.
Yes. And I think that's a good call because the forward progress had been stopped. Watch Kamana. He was a tight end last year. He gets hit. Now he's fighting. He's still fighting. Forward progress is stopped and the ball comes out about the same time. Close call.
It's a break for the Trojans. That could have gone either way.
That was the Southern Cal's idea of a screen, throwing the ball over the rush, but they didn't have any alignment out in front of the receiver.
McAllister was the fellow who stripped the ball, and it came swinging loose as Kamana struggling, trying to get all he could get out of it. And now Salisbury to the sidelines to talk to his coach. Timeout.
One thing we should mention, Bruce Vaughn, who was injured earlier, but did intercept the deep pass a few moments ago, has been replaced in the lineup by Ricky Eason, who is a sophomore.
Well, Eason's been in there before today. He just hasn't had his number called, but he's been in there. Alabama rolling over Georgia Tech today, 45-7.
Look at the offensive total of Alabama, and there's Herschel Walker's totals.
That's more Walker-like, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Steve Young got a baptism as a new quarterback for Brigham Young.
It'll be 2nd down and a long 5 for SC. Crowd booing the last call. Puts it up. He's got Simmons, and Simmons has got the ball for a first down at the Florida 27. Ricky Eastman made the tackle.
It's going to be an up-and-out pattern. As Salisbury's got time, he fakes and comes up. But the Florida defensive backs have been gambling all day long. They did this last week. Watch the sophomore back, Easton, take the fake of Simmons, and Simmons is wide open, getting in behind him before Lily 18 makes the play.
Jeff Simmons has caught 5 passes for 104 yards. First down, SC, Florida, 27.
Here comes the blitz.
Crowd is really hooting. They give it to Fred Crutcher, the tailback. He's going down the sidelines to the corner. Touchdown, Southern California. Freddie Crutcher takes it 27 yards for the score.
Keith is a penalty. Going to be called back.
Who threw it?
I never have seen the flag. I see no flag on the ground. The officials were conversing over in a position where the tight end, normally on that play, if there is a penalty of illegal use of the hands, the tight end in making that block on the sweep is usually the person that's involved.
Here's Jerry Yarbrough.
Holding offense.
And that's almost always the call, isn't it? Holding or pushing, or sometimes a clip.
That's a tough break for Southern Cal and a big, big break for the Florida Gators. You can see a frustrated John Robbins.
So the ball comes all the way back outside the 36. Where it's first down and 20.
Blitz coming again.
Crutcher. This time he doesn't have the escort around the corner, and the Gators get him at about the 33.
Florida is, I'm impressed with their game plan in that they are continuing to try to rush Salisbury, and he's thrown for some interceptions and been tackled for losses on the blitz. They're still going after him. They're not sitting back and playing cautiously. That's some big, big games there. West Virginia's upsetting Oklahoma.
Second down at about 16 from the 33. It's Michael Harper carrying the ball this time, and they're just intent on working to the tight side of the field where they can get concentrated blocking, and they are picking up yardage. But they're now looking at third down. And the time. Oh, the time. Coming up, the Prudential College School Board, a rundown of opening day for most folks around the country. Harper now has run for 70 yards. He is the leading Southern California rusher. It is third down and about 5. Salisbury will put it up. Can't do it. It is popped up in the air. It is picked up by a big offensive lineman for Southern Cal, number 73, I think it is. It'd be the center, Tony Slayton, and there is a penalty flag.
I think we'll see whether it's legal play or not. If Florida touched the ball, the lineman can catch the ball and run with it. If Florida didn't touch it, it's an illegal pass. Well, the flag is down. We'll see what they say.
It's an illegal pass.
Illegal pass. Wilbur Marshall was coming from the backside of Salisbury, and I'm not sure whether he is the one that actually got the arm when it was in the air, but someone did. I think they're going to have a conference and try to decide to be sure that Florida did not touch the ball. They wiped it off.
It was tipped, so they wipe off the penalty.
To understand the rule that any offensive player becomes an eligible receiver once the defense touches the ball. You're going to see 23 Spencer blocking on Marshall, and as the arm goes up in the air, let's see if we can tell if in fact Florida does touch the ball. The arm is in the air. I'm not sure that they did touch the ball, but anyway, I don't think they touched the ball.
It is fourth down and 2 at the Florida 19. No, it is Salisbury. He's got a man wide open. Touchdown. The pass caught by Pat McCool, the tight end. A 19-yard scoring strike from Salisbury to Pat McCool.
You can just gamble so much on pass defense before a coach like John Robinson, who is so good under pressure, will take advantage of it. McCool had not caught a pass at Southern Cal. He's a senior tight end, But when the halfback and everybody's up on the line of scrimmage, he just sneaked in behind while the fake in the backfield took place.
And so we've got a timeout before we have the extra point try with 6:25 to play in the game. The Trojans will go for two, trailing 17-9. Double wide, bottom of the picture. The figure to throw the ball. There goes Timmy White. He goes into the end zone. They throw it short, and it's on the hands of Michael Harper, but he doesn't hold it. And so it's a 17-9 ball game with 6 minutes and 25 seconds to play.
Fernando Jackson, the linebacker, covering man-for-man on Michael Harper, forced a very careful throw. But let's take another look at the touchdown. Here's what happens when you play the run. Watch the cornerback up at the line of scrimmage. Someone's got to play deep. The safety man's firing. Look how wide open McCool is in behind everybody. 81, the strong safety, finally gets back and tackles him. Too late. Touchdown. Watch the fake. When you see the fake from the end zone, you're going to see that everybody's through. The safety actually is Lilly. He's right up over the ball, and there's no cornerback back there at all. Wide open for the touchdown. Excellent call. Fool Florida completely on the play.
Harper had the ball on his hands in the extra point try.
On the extra point try, Harper, number 36, is running man-for-man on the linebacker, Fernando Jackson, who is number 49. And Jackson is right there. As you can see, he forces a very careful throw. Had it been right on the money, Harper would have scored for the 2 points.
So Florida leads by 8. Numbers on the scoring drive, and here's the kick. Jordan knocks it through the end zone, and Florida will come out to its 20. Now it's up to the Southern California defense to hold Florida and give the offense another chance. Or if you want to look at it from the other side, it's up to the Florida offense to pick up some first downs and run some time off the clock.
Here's the way I look at it, Chief. Southern Cal's tradition of winning big ball games from coming from behind has the edge right now. Florida is going to be, I'm sure in their minds, they're a little bit cautious. They wonder what happened to them. We had the game we thought won. Now we're in trouble. But let's see what happens.
Wayne Peace is the quarterback. Give it to James Jones. And they hustle him out of bounds up around the 24. Matt Johnson, a freshman strong safety from Chula Vista, and Matt Port, a freshman from Goleta. Yvonne Lindell meets Jimmy Connors in the men's finals of the U.S. Open Tennis, as Lindell beat McEnroe today by those scores.
Oh, the pressure's on the signal caller right now, making up his mind what he wants to do, knowing that Southern Cal's going to do everything they can to stop the run first.
Second down, 6. Jones again. He's up near the 29 before he is wrestled back. So they're about a yard and a half short of the first down. Third down.
This comes down to be the biggest play of the ball game so far. Third down and short. If they make this, they can keep the ball and continue on and use at least 3 more downs. If they don't, they're going to be forced to kick.
John L. Brown is in the backfield now for Florida, number 14. Letting the crowd settle a little bit so it gets a little quieter. Lorenzo Hampton dives for the first down. I don't think he made it.
He's a foot short.
He ran into George Achika.
He's a yard short.
It'll be 4th down. The Gators will have to give it up. Now the heat gets on the freshman punter, Ray Criswell. He has punted 39, 50, 50, and 39.
Ray Criswell's daddy was his football coach, so you know he's a smart youngster back there. He knows what the situation is. He wants to get it and kick it as quickly as he can.
Michael Harper is deep. Pressure's on. Gets it out of there. Pretty good kick. Harper calls fair catch. Comes up and accepts the ball at the 38 of Southern California. So here are the Trojans now, trailing 17-9. 4 minutes and 54 seconds to play in the game.
Well, what we're going to see is going to be interesting with Florida defense. they got burned on that last series, blitzing, trying to play man for man. Will they go back with 4 minutes and 54 seconds left on the clock and play cautious, giving them the short pass? I would, rushing only occasionally.
And play zone and
play zone and
center
make
field.
them beat you with and concede the short pass.
And they've got Lilly back there playing center field. Salisbury looks for Harper, goes down the middle instead, hits Timmy White. White's got a first down as he reached the Florida 42-43. And Tony Lilly makes the tackle.
That's a class throw. As White is, all he's going to do is get in behind the linebackers and find the open spot. If the ball can get there, and Salisbury rifles it there, what I would do, I think what Florida's going to have to do is get their linebackers deeper. Deepen up those linebackers. They're still playing about 3 or 4 yards deep. Deepen them on up there. Get on back. Get back and play the pass. 8 or 10 yards. Give
First
them the
down,
short
USC,
pass.
Florida 43. They try to go inside with the fullback Spencer's. Nothing there for him. He is pinched down right at the line of scrimmage.
Not by Newton.
And it was Wilbur Marshall, number 88, at the bottom of the stack.
USC has 1 timeout left as we are coming down to 4 minutes left on the clock. Florida has 2 left. As we look at John Robinson, who's been in this position many, many times. Got a young sophomore quarterback starting for the first time, trying to pull it off.
Second down and 10.
Here comes the blitz.
Goes to Harper. Student body left. This time he gets around the corner and gets the first down. They get him at the 31. Tony Lilly finally knocked him out of bounds. 3:47 to play.
Big play, and there's a penalty down. Evidently, it was on Southern Cal. A penalty back at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal use of hands. Pushing.
As I had mentioned earlier, I think all coaches know that the person that usually gets that penalty is the tight end. I've said that before. It's just a tough block on the tight end to hold that outside linebacker long enough legally to have the back circle the outside. It's a 5-yard penalty, but it does give Florida a little more relief.
Illegal use of the hands. Offense, 5-yard foul. Second down.
Second down and 10. Stadium's gotten kind of quiet, hasn't it? Salisbury looking for Simmons. Goes deep for White. It is intercepted by Curry. Ivory Curry. It was a bad choice by Salisbury. He looked at Simmons. He wasn't available. He tried to go deep for White. White had 3 red shirts back there with him. Salisbury elected to go deep. He didn't throw it far enough. And the Gators come away with the 4th USC turnover,
Number
second
18,
interception.
Lilly, the safety man, intercepted a pass against Miami last week. The ball is slightly underthrown, or it might have been there. You can see White, number 6. He has gotten in behind number 47, Vaughn. From the opposite side comes number 26, Curry, and he makes the play. The safety man, Lilly, was up playing the short man, the tight end in the middle.
Vaughn is hurt again. They're looking now in the ankle area, so we've got a timeout for the injured Bruce Vaughn with 3 minutes and 23 seconds to play in the ball game, and the Gators have the ball. Do you hear? John Robinson pacing the sidelines, fouling. His Trojans look like they might come on down and make a serious challenge against the Gators, but the interception, the second of the day, has given Florida the ball. First down at their own 2. Now they've got to hang on to it. And they give it away to Lorenzo Hampton. And Joey Browner brings him down.
I think what we can expect the Florida quarterback to say in the huddle, Wayne Peace, hey, man, hold on the ball, protect it with both hands. And the offensive unit has been put in this position many times in practice. As we look at John Robinson, try to figure out what he can do to stop him. They've been put in this position and said, hey, this means whether we win the ball game or not. You've got to drive it out.
Ball is on the 5. Second down. 7. He stands up, flips it to the sideline. Pass is incomplete, intended for Spencer Jackson.
most unusual call because Peace has thrown for 2 interceptions. That's the first pass I think he's thrown since the interceptions in the third quarter. They had made 3 good yards, and by stopping the clock on an incomplete pass, you really helped Southern Cal.
Ray George, Frank, who is the assistant AD at Southern California and a football coach there for many, many years. Well, Big Ray is not on the trip. Gosh, I can't remember the last time he didn't make a Southern California football trip, but he's had a bad back and couldn't make the trip. So, Raymond, I hope you've enjoyed the ball game. We've got a timeout called by Florida. 3rd down, 7 from the 5 with 2:43 to play in the game. All right. I think everything is reflected right there on the scoreboard. 2 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the ball game. Florida trying to wind the clock away. 3rd down and 7 from their own 5. Peace stands up, looks to throw, throws to the sideline. Dwayne Dixon, the pass is too high. Dixon had no chance to catch it. And now the Gators have to kick it away. So the Trojans get one more chance.
What we saw with Wayne Peace was very careful. He thrown for 2 interceptions in the third quarter, got careless on the last 2 choices to throw the ball. He was very careful and overthrew the receiver. And N did not have a chance to catch the ball. Now Southern Cal is going to have excellent field position with 2:39 left in the game.
They will have to go for 2 in order to get a tie out of it, if they should be able to score.
Maybe they're going to give him a safety right here, Keith. No, I wouldn't either. That would have been a bad call.
It takes a bounce, and Michael Harper has to field it, because if he doesn't, it's going to roll on down the field. So he takes the lumps as he catches the ball. 39-yard kick by Criswell and the 44-yard line of SC. Here are the most valuable players in the game today, and the individual schools in the names of these players will receive $1,000 each from Chevrolet for the school's General Scholarship Fund. And those players are Wilbur Marshall of the University of Florida and August Curley of the University of Southern California. So for the second week in a row, we picked defensive people, Frank. 1st down and 10 for the Trojans. From the 44, the pass to Kamenar, the fullback. And he reaches the 35.
Southern Cal has 1 timeout left. We're coming down to 2 minutes left on the clock. Florida conceding the short pass.
Second down and 1 from the 35. Gives the ball to his fullback. Penalty flag goes down. The referee threw it out of the offensive backfield. They've got enough for the 1st down, I think. But let's see about the penalty. It's illegal procedure. It's against Southern California. So the little mistakes continue to haunt them. And we'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching the Navy-Virginia game. We have quite a surprise here in Gainesville today, as the University of Florida Gators have pretty well dominated the Southern California Trojans. Only here in the late going in the game have the Trojans started to move it around. They scored their touchdown in the 4th quarter. But now they have just made another critical mistake in the ball game. An illegal procedure call that moves them back away from the 1st down, back to the Florida 40.
Florida's field position in the second half
Illegal
has
motion.
been
Offense.
atrocious. We'll talk about that in just a minute.
2nd down and about 7. With 1:53 to play in the game, 17-9 Florida. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. It was 14-0 at halftime. Sean Salisbury going to put it up. He throws his 3rd interception of the day. It is picked off by Randy Clark.
He fumbled the ball, but Florida got it back.
Field with 73,238 people here, a new attendance record for the University of Florida erupts in a joyous roar with 1:33 to play.
Randy Clark got right back into the passing lane and made a great leap and intercepted the ball. The only thing he might have done differently after he got it was just be sure he put his knee down so that if he did fumble, it would already be dead back in it where his knee touched the ground. He did fumble, but Florida got it back.
And the Gators now with a chance to run it out. Give it away to the tailback. Lorenzo Hampton, Georgia Chica makes the tackle. Southern California coming across the country for the first meeting ever with the Florida Gators. Played it in heat and humidity, and this may have been the death knell for the Trojans in the opener right here.
Randy Clark is right in the path of the hurling in. Watch him jump right here. He goes up and catches the ball. Look how high he went. That's a fine athlete. This young man was a linebacker until this fall. Had to be moved. The free strong safety and has been outstanding in both of the ball games.
Second down and 10. The clock is running. The Trojans with one timeout remaining. They have not spent it yet. They would like to get a big defensive play before they spend it. He's taking all the time he can. Pitches it out to John L. Williams, and John runs all the way across the field again, using seconds.
Oh, I bet he wishes he hadn't gotten out of bounds.
Yep.
Because that stops the clock. I don't think that Florida would have had to punt the ball, but now they will unless they make the first down. Southern Cal can use their last timeout at the end of the third down, at least force the punt.
35 seconds to play. I think you'll see Southern California take the timeout after this play if Florida doesn't have success with it. On third down and 7, they give it to Williams. He cuts it back into the middle, and here USC should call the time. They do. And so you've got 27 seconds to play in the ball game. Florida leading 17-9. It's a Trojan timeout. So Florida just 27 seconds away from one of its biggest wins ever. Right now, here's Jim Lampley. All right, Jimmy, 27 ticks remaining on the clock. It is fourth down for the Florida Gators. They're going to have to punt it away. The executive producer of ABC Sports, Roone Arledge, coverage of today's game produced by Chuck Howard, directed by Andy Sedaris. Our technical director, John Allen, associate director, Ned Simon, technical manager, Barb Armbruster, unit manager, Steve Israel, assistant to the producer, Jay Moses. USC has spent its last time out. Criswell's punt is away. High hanger, not too long. Harper comes up and calls a fair catch. And so the clock stops again as the change a move with 21 seconds to play in the game. We have two new young men in a booth assisting us this year. Doing our spotting for us is Todd Barry and our statistician, Dave Berenson, replacing old-timers Jerry Klein and Mike Swanson, who've gone on to bigger things. And we're happy for them. Happy to have Tim Brandt with us on the sidelines for today's ball game as well. I'm Keith Jackson along with Frank Broyles.
I just wanted to congratulate the Florida staff. Just a tremendous job of preparation against this Southern Cal football team.
Sean Salisbury with the clock running. Throws it down the middle. The pass is caught by White. And White's on the move. They finally get him down at the Florida 37, a penalty flag, and the Gators may get hit with a penalty here for a late hit.
Keith, they're going to be time for 2 passes. They're going to penalize them 15 yards. It's going to be down the 23-yard line and 2 passes at the goal line.
That play goes from just inside the 30. The ball is now at the 37. It's a 44-yard pickup on it.
Well, you can see the poise. Salisbury, he comes up and rifles the ball to White. White is the fastest wide receiver. And now the big mistake is right here. Piling on by the Florida secondary.
Here's the call on it.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Defense.
Now the football is sitting at the Florida 22 with 10 seconds to play in the game. 8 points separated. Penalty flags now. That one might be SC.
Keith, if the penalty is on SC, the official, I don't think, should stop the clock. He should start unless Southern Cal gets up the line of scrimmage. If they will not get a snap off.
3 seconds.
They will not get a snap off unless Southern Cal knows the rule and gets up to the line of scrimmage. The rules say that the clock, unless it's stopped by rule, after a penalty, the clock starts immediately. And if after this penalty, you can see John saying, get up there, fellas. If you don't snap the ball, we won't get the play. If the defense had made the penalty, they would have stopped the clock.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure. Offense.
They're ready to go. 3 seconds. They will get the snap. There's encroachment by Florida.
Now the foul is on the defense, and the official will stop the clock and start it on snap only. That's the new rule this year. That is the rule this year. The defense, by penalty, cannot get the advantage. They lose the advantage by jumping offside. The official will not start the clock until the snap. So Southern Cal has 1 play left. John Robinson is trying to get that attention across to Salisbury. He's got to throw it across the goal line. Back everybody up, man. Florida should get back there where they can play the deep pass. Now the referee will not start the clock.
John's arguing for 3 seconds.
Yes. The penalty occurred with 1 second. I don't think he has the right for 3 seconds. I do not believe he has the right for 3 seconds.
Not under the rule. I don't think he does either. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. He's going to get his snap anyway.
Well, the official is going to come over and tell him.
Dead ball.
No, he isn't.
Encroachment. Defense.
They don't have to get this play off. He is not going to start it till the snap. That's the new rule this year.
Last play of the ball game right here. Gators get Salisbury. The ball is knocked loose. Florida has defeated Southern California by a score of 17-9. Biggest wins in the University of Florida Gator football history. You don't think Charlie Powell isn't happy?
I don't blame him. That's a great picture. You know how a coach feels after a win like that.
Betcha. So once again, our final score, Florida 17, Southern California 9. ABC Sports' 20th year of NCAA college football continues next Saturday night as the Michigan Wolverines battle the Irish of Notre Dame at Notre Dame, 9 Eastern Time, 8 Central. Travel arrangements made through and promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. That's what friendly skies are all about. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.